you cut isn't super short. So just be aware if you roll into it.
Yeah, it's 2:30. No, Judge, go ahead and we can get
11-3, and now you want to be a part of it. Everybody doubted, but we never regarded it. I warned you in April, told you we were coming different. Allen Diggs 2020, yeah, we feeling significant. Even Pro Football Focus had something to say. Now we breaking all these records like it's just another day. Let them do the dancing, we talked our play. Got the best culture live, Sean, take it away. And I told you Belichick couldn't do it alone. AFC East chance, baby, give us the throne. D stay locked, cause we stay in the zone. BZ, Poyer, Hyde, White, everybody is shown. And we beating all these teams that you never expected. Josh bossed up, so you gotta respect it. Got the most loyal fans, man, I'm telling you, check it. It's a tight-knit city, yeah, we keep it connected. 4 for the ones who close the door. It's war we lose and ask for more, so we breaking the score. 2 to always rep the red and blue. If they say that we can't, we make sure we do. 1, a reminder that we just begun. Yeah, you know what we say, baby, 1 not done. Run it up, Mafia.
Oh, now do you believe? Now do you believe? These guys are good, scary good, and they are going to
a Super Bowl. Incredible, unbelievable pandemonium. It is a sea of joyous humanity, and this place is just absolutely gone wild.
Welcome into the Buffalo Fanatics BF tailgate. We're running after dark tonight, leading up to the AFC Championship game. I am Jeff Landers. To my left, your right, that's Judge Mathis. We got Greg Thompson from Cover One. We got Ty B. Where are you from, Ty B? With the mustache. Give us a shout out.
Trainwreck Sports, baby.
Trainwreck. We got Nate Geary, former BF Fanatic, now on WGR, hitting it up with the professionals. L. Buff, where can we find you?
You can just find me all over the place. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as L_Buff.
And we got Drew Gear. If you don't know Drew Gear, if you don't know where Drew Gear is from, he's a man who needs no introduction because you can find him on the stage at Chippendales Mondays at noon, otherwise known as the Rock Pile Report.
Coming to the main stage.
And then we got Zach Vaughn, he Buffalo Fanatics contributor, Buffalo Fanatics Eric the Spy, and then Z-Bot. Everyone knows the Z-Bot. Gentlemen, welcome to AFC Championship weekend. You guys have been busy podcasting, writing. Welcome. It's time to relax, kick back. We don't even have to talk about the game tonight. We can just talk about what it means. We can talk about what we're drinking, what we're cooking, what we're doing with our facial hair, except for you down in the corner. Drew.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? I was going to say, if we can kick this thing off, you're talking about we can ask anything. Who let one of the Super Mario Brothers into the meeting? I mean, I'm looking up here. Are you a plumber with that mustache?
It's magnificent.
Beautiful.
I've done a few things in my life. Not really into pipes. I sell some chocolate.
He drained a few pipes.
You know what's funny?
No, I sell chocolate.
In order to prove his mustache was real, because I definitely thought he went to Supercuts earlier and just sweeped up the floor and then glued it to his face, as if the glue wouldn't hold it to your face if you pulled it away. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on that.
I mean, it's been here for 19 weeks. It's been here for 19 weeks.
We already got a super chat coming in.
From the beginning of the season.
We got a super chat coming in. Our boy Joe Miller, the facial hair power on this podcast is phenomenal. Bills by a billion. Shout out to brother Bill. Right. Hope you're watching after delivering all those delicious Pepsis out there, Joe Miller. Thanks for the super chat. You can get in on the super chat as well. Smash that like button. Give it a share. We're already up to almost 300 people. Guys and gals, we're going to start down in the corner quickly. What does this weekend mean to you? And I'm going to start with you, Z-Bot. What does this weekend? Well, you're probably one of the youngest. Who here is over 30? Who here is over 30? Anybody? Okay. Drew, we're going to start with you. This weekend, what does this mean for you? Because we got to start with the old guys. I'm 34. I barely remember the last AFC Championship game, let alone the Super Bowls.
For me, this is crazy because I remember watching my father experienced the same emotions I'm going through right now, but as a child, it didn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand why he's so manic. It's a football game. Now I get to wear those shoes. He and I have been texting all week, and in fact, even for the last month, I've never seen him so energized as a Bills fan, which is incredible because this team broke him. He took a 10-year hiatus, and he's now back, which has been one of the most rewarding things in the world for me. But now he's had to kind of talk me off the ledge a couple times where he's telling me, he's like, look, this is it. Yeah, it's game day anxiety before a giant game that could dictate the Super Bowl. I did it 4 times. You'll be okay. You'll survive. Just don't drink too much. Drink a little bit, not too much. No, for me,
that is asking a lot, isn't it?
It's a Herculean task. But
did I hit the over?
What this means to me is just, it's like I've come full circle in life, and I'm back to where I was as a kid, except now I get to enjoy more of it because I understand it more.
All right, as we continue on with this house party, another guest here on the Buffalo Fanatics from Cover 1. Greg, you're also over 30. You're in the Lee Smith category with us. What do you remember about those years? And after all of this playoff unsuccess, failures, what does this weekend mean for you to get to this point?
I'm of the age, I'm at the borderline where there's not that many players in the NFL older than me left, and it's super, super close to being depressing that I will be older than every player in the NFL. So I'm okay with Brady coming back next year. It gives me another year to hold on. It's incredible. So I was old enough. I was 10 to 13 during the Super Bowl run. So I was old enough to grasp what was going on. I was playing organized football at that point. I was old enough that I was sitting down watching the games and not running around with the kids at the party and stuff like that. And I remember I was also old enough to care whether they won or lost. So I was also of the age where crying at the end of it was, socially acceptable. It wasn't weird that it was a grown man in the corner crying like my dad. So all those things that go with it, and now riding out all the time in between, very similar to Drew. It's awesome. I went home for the Broncos game and watched it with my grandma and my mom and dad and my nephews and all my family. That was the reason I fell in love with the team. And then I got to see them win the first division championship in 25 years with the people that I fell in love with it with. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to watch it with my kids and my family, and just hope that we get to experience that joy together.
Well, I was in 7th grade for the Music City Forward Pass, and I cried for about 3 hours after that. Anyone else here has cried after a Bills game? Win, loss, anybody else?
I was old enough to break stuff at the Titans wildcard game. I was old enough to break things at that point.
Now that was actually my introduction to the wildcard game. That was the moment that I realized life wasn't fair. My father couldn't even have he couldn't have a conversation with me about it. My father was so angry that because I'm looking at the TV and I go, Dad, don't worry, they're going to call that back. They have to. It's wrong. They're going to fix it, right? And he stormed off and slammed his bedroom door, and I'm sitting there still watching the TV like a sucker, going, no, they're going to come back. They're going to come back and fix this because that's what's right. And an hour later, I was outside just shooting rocks off the side of the house with a hockey stick as hard as I could. I was 13, and I was.
So wait, you're trying to sell me that 13. You went 13 years with that face, and it took 13 years for that to be the worst thing to ever happen.
Shots fired.
I knew that was coming.
Shots fired.
Oh man,
I was pre-laughing at that one.
Oh. All right. So, we got Bills fans spread across the country, but I want to jump it up into the upper right-hand corner, and my man, Nate Geary. First of all, Nate, you posted a picture on Twitter earlier, the first photo you had of 2020, and it was the Matthew Bove blank book meme. And the book was Why Is This Child Still Crying by Nate Geary. I just want to let you know that I was the one who gave that to you. But You kind of have your pulse on the city of Buffalo, being in the studios with WGR. Downtown, the city, what are you vibing like when you go around Western New York, when you get into the studio? What's it like there?
So I live downtown. I live right down on Main Street, heart of the city. And I was driving back from the station. It was about 4:15 last Saturday, and I was driving through Allentown, and it took me about 20 minutes to get from Allentown, Elmwood to Allentown, Main Street, because there were so many people lined up on the street. They were blowing off fireworks. They were smashing tables in the middle of the streets. So yeah, everyone's handling it like adults, and I'm very, I believe everyone's going to handle it very well if the Bills win tomorrow. Listen, we're known for our maturity in this town, and the Bills being a winner is just giving us more opportunities to show the world what mature adults and how they should act about their football teams. So.
Who else in this room is downtown Buffalo? I know we got Cleveland. I know we got Arizona.
Close enough.
Ty, what are you feeling like in Western New York right now? I mean, I'm in Idaho Falls. We got guys spread across the country here. What's it like?
Yeah, no, I'm in Kaisertown, so it's a quick hop, skip, and jump over to Nate. I was downtown earlier. You have everyone outside waiting for other half. Half of them have their Bills jackets on. Everyone's got Bills hats, Bills everything. It's absolutely unbelievable right now, the vibe inside the entire city. I work with a lot of elderly ladies at a chocolate store, and these ladies are all losing their minds right now. Like, they're like coming into work every Monday and like, Tyler, like, how do you feel about the game? Like, what do you like? You got to be going crazy. I'm like, yeah, like, why are you so excited? I'm like, what's going on? Like, I thought I was supposed to be one pumped up. I'm like, I'm confident for next week, and you guys are just celebrating this. Like, I thought I should be, like, bringing this all in, and like, but I'm just going along for the ride, and like, I see where this team can go. And when you understand that we're right there and you're 8 quarters from literally eternal greatness, I don't know. I can't look away from it. I can't.
Cheers to that.
I can't do anything else. That's exactly what it is.
Drink to that. All right, we got a comment coming in that says, "Is L famous yet?" I got to scroll back up to get that. L, you've got a bunch of men who are just acting like little boys right now. What is the female perspective on this team? And yes, I'm asking you to talk for every single Bills fan that is a woman out there right now. But I mean,
no pressure.
No pressure. What are you seeing out of this team?
All right. Well, these girls are more than welcome to comment in and tell me that I am wrong as fuck. But let me tell you, as a female, and I am right on that 30 cusp. We're gonna pretend like I'm not pushing over.
I got the under. Push it under. I'm a betting man. I got the under.
They don't ask how many. They just, as long as you're under, they don't ask how many.
And don't worry, my wife's been turning 29 for a decade.
I love it. As a 30 flat female, I will tell you that I was 5 years old the last time that we were a decent team. We're all sitting here. We're just as stoked as the rest of you guys. We might not understand the X's and O's of every single part of this game, but we understand the heartbreak. We rode through it all, and we are just as stoked as anybody else. I went to go and check out at JCPenney earlier today. I bought a brand new sweatshirt because, treat yourself. And the lady at the cash register was just a scruffy, dumpy lady. And in Jamestown, New York, she looked right at me and she goes, I spent all of last weekend sitting in my recliner watching football. I've never done that in my life. I don't think I've ever been more excited to see where we're going to go. And that was awesome. So, you've got ladies everywhere who just want to see us win. They want to see us come out of this hole, and we're all ready to fucking go burn down the city the same as the rest of you dudes. Let's go.
Let's not actually burn it down. Let's not actually burn it down.
We're running through a lot of brick walls.
Can I add some
Go ahead, Judge.
No, Judge, you
because I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went to the grocery store not 3 hours ago, and I wore some Bills gear, and within my 25, 30 minutes in the Fry's, that's the grocery store we have out here, I got 3 Go Bills, I got 1 Bills Mafia, and I got 1 Go Fuck Yourself. So
you get those regardless of your affiliation.
Not nearly as much as Drew, but I mean,
irrelevant.
I will be at a mall, like a 2-story mall, and people will expect me to jump from the top floor down to the bottom floor through a folding table. That's what they expect me every time I wear a Bills jersey out in public here. That's what I was known for out in public here in Arizona before the past 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm going through the grocery store, and I got like random ass because Lorenzo's big out here, Lorenzo Alexander. So there's a lot of Buffalo Bills fans this week because Zoe lives in Scottsdale, and he does a lot of work with the local radio station here.
All right, so some guys who haven't gotten in.
Partied at Bottled Blonde on a couple of occasions wearing my Bills jersey. I can attest to that. Those people in Scottsdale and Phoenix, they just want to see you do something crazy. The second they see you in a jersey, they're like, "Yo, you gonna light something on fire today?"
and that is coming from a group of people in Old Town that literally they wake up for breakfast and snort a line of coke. Like that's what they do in Scottsdale.
Oh, fact.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, so we haven't heard from the three guys, the BF contributors down in the bottom corner, Zach Vaughn, Z-Bot, and BF Spy. What are you guys feeling about this game? We hear from you often, so we wanted to get through our guests first. And thank you for kind of holding your breath here. And I'm going to start with you, Z-Bot.
He's been holding his breath this entire time. Look how ready he is.
How are you feeling? I mean, this is the first time in your life that they've advanced this far. So,
yeah. All right. Well, so the last time we won one of these, right here, 1993. I wasn't even a thought yet. And shout out to my girlfriend and her family. They're all watching right now. And Geary, her father, bought me this ring in hopes that we would be getting another one this year. I'm going to hold him to it. He said if we win this weekend, he's buying me another one. So I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to turn around and give that ring away.
Well, hey, when me and her get married, he already fronted me here. So it's already closed case. Although I'd much rather use this year's ring than the one from 1993. So let's get that locked down first. But 1993, man, I wasn't even a thought yet. And if they would have won one of those Super Bowls, maybe I would have been born a couple years earlier. I think my dad was waiting a little bit. But here we are. And in my lifetime, it was the drought, and that's all I knew up until now. And the transition is insane. You went from, me and my dad popped champagne bottles when we got the Tyler Boyd touchdown to get us into the wild card. We popped champagne. We drank like it was the beginning of the millennium, soaked ourselves. It was unbelievable. And then we'd go on to lose to the Jaguars. To see where we've come in such a short period and to be able to enjoy that, you almost forget the years of torment. I haven't thought about it once this year. This year has been unlike anything I've experienced as a fan. To have this opportunity this year, especially with all that's going around, I don't think we touch on that enough. This year has been horrendous, and I think we can all agree the one bright spot at the end of the tunnel, it's been the Bills through and through. The fact that we're continuously getting more football, I think we're taking it for granted. The Bills are in the AFC Championship this weekend. It's still really hasn't processed yet. I think tomorrow when I cue the game up, it's finally going to hit. But for me, it means everything. I have been rooting on this team all these years, and every single year it's been, worse than the next. Finally, we got a little taste of success the last couple. But to be where we're at right now, as a fan, for as long as I've been one, getting it from my dad who got to live through the glory days, and then from me just coming up through, the complete opposite. This weekend, honestly, it feels like we're playing with house money. I never even saw a playoff win. We have two now. The fact that we're here, it's something else. To be on the cusp of a Super Bowl it's what we've all been dreaming for, at least if you're in my age group, and here we are.
Yeah,
I feel like I would say that the comments about what people expect of Bills Mafia is the Randy Marsh Bills Mafia T-shirt.
Yeah, so I called the guy and said, "Can you get a picture of Nate in cartoon form? Put it on a shirt for me." And it just came in today. Nate gave me the okay to wear it. So, yeah, all royalties go to Nate on that. I thought this was America. You know what I mean?
I thought this was America. So
I didn't hear no bell.
Z-Bot is calling it something else. He doesn't have the words. BF Spy, Eric, do you have the words for this weekend? Can you give him some adjectives and adverbs to describe this weekend?
I would say, the goalpost moved for us, for all of Bills Mafia this year. I don't think anybody was expecting this season. I think if you took a poll, the average would probably be, I expect the Bills to be somewhere in the realm of what they were last year, even with the harder schedule. But now, we're playing. This is found money, not even house money. It's found money. We're farther past what we thought we would be. And the crazy thing is, not just unexpected for us; it's unexpected for everybody else too. Nobody expected us to be here. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. New Mexico is predominantly Broncos fans, Cowboys fans, and Chiefs fans. Those are the three kind of, demographic fan vibes here in New Mexico. And I talk to fans, especially Cowboys fans, all the time who are like, the Bills, we did not expect this season out of you. We did not see this coming, which makes me laugh. But, this is unexpected for all of us. And I think one moment that comes to mind to kind of bring a good analogy to this, the moment in the movie Miracle, where they're going into the third period and Herb calls the team in and he says, you can beat these guys. That's what I think of. You're on a stage where nobody expected you to be. You're on a stage where nobody wants you to be. And yet you actually have a very good chance of winning this game. Now, there is a Bills backers bar here in Albuquerque, and I've got a little funny story for you guys. So for the Colts game, for the playoff game for the Colts game, New Mexico Department of Health came in and shut them down. They said, you guys can't be in the bar. There's none of that going to happen and all that kind of stuff. So the owners of the Bills backer bar appealed the decision. The decision was denied again. And so then they found a loophole where if they're doing construction on the bar, they can have people on premises. So they decided to do construction during the Ravens game. And that's the way it was. That's how they got around it. Now, for me personally, I have kids now, and my oldest daughter's to the point, she's 4 years old. She's to the point where she can understand the game of football. So it's been fun for me to kind of teach her what this game is, what this means. And now I've got a couple of little Bills Mafia rugrats running around. You can ask Judge. Last week we had my oldest on, and she gave a go Bills to the whole, all the BF fans watching out there. But funny story, during the game last week, the 3rd and 13, where Lamar Jackson runs it for a first down. Does everybody remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when he runs that, I'm screaming, no, you got to contain. And then my 4-year-old goes, Lamar Jackson smells like poop. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said when he got back up.
That's excellent.
All right. Well, we got Lamar Jackson smells like poop as some adjectives and adverbs for Z-Bot.
Yeah.
Zach, can you fill in those adjectives and adverbs? What does this weekend mean?
Well,
like actual words? You're
give me some
actual words, like English language words. Like I'm like Will Ferrell and Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands right now. Like I just don't know what to do because I've grown up with the drought. I was born in '96, so Jim Kelly basically retired. Eric Moulds was just beyond my range of memory. And
your name should be Todd Collins.
Oh, jeez. But it's also weird because I grew up and it's the only thing I knew about the 90s was just the lore of the 90s because my father grew up with the Bills from the 60s onward. He knows Jack Kemp, Ferguson, all them. So I've heard the glory of it, and obviously inherited the whole that was an illegal forward pass, which it truthfully was. I've watched the footage. That was an illegal forward pass in the Music City Mirage. But as for words, it's just spectacular, unexpected, something I don't think I ever could have seen coming. It's just, I think for me, the keyword special and destiny, because this is that year that just feels special. When I watched them in Miami, when I watched Stephon Diggs have his first touchdown not watched it because they blacked out, but when I saw that scribble doodle of the highlight, I kind of thought, well, there's something about this team. And as they kept going along, they kept breaking expectations. They kept checking boxes off. It's just, it feels like there's something special about this team. And, it's like 2017 in Philly or 99 Rams. They have something special about them. And both of those teams won Super Bowls. You could even say the same about the Chiefs last year. It was special. You knew something was going, something good. So that's why I got utter confidence in them tomorrow. So I guess for me, the key adjective would just be special.
Well, I got Greg Thompson on audio giving himself a little pour. Thank you, buddy. What you drinking there?
Right. Thank God.
Some Basil Hayden's. That's what's got us through this whole run. Basil Hayden's is undefeated right now.
All righty. And
I have to agree with him there. I've been hammering that too.
while we're talking about copious amounts of alcohol and it might not be very good for our bodies or brains, we do have the doctor joining in. Alex, thanks for... Yeah, the good Dr. Alex, thanks for getting in with us here on the BF Tailgate Buffalo Fanatics After Dark. Guys, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and get in the super chat. We had a super chat. Just want to say thank you to Logan for that. Embrace the happiness. Embrace our franchise QB. And embrace this win over KC. Go Bills. Alex, how many games were the Kansas City Chiefs playing with the Patrick Mahomes concussion, non-concussion, neck injury, nerve? What was going on there?
Yeah, so I don't know. He got tackled awkwardly. Obviously, it looks like he didn't get hit in the head very hard. Looks like he got wrapped around the neck. I mean, the theory that we think is going on is they pushed on a nerve in an artery in the neck, in the carotid area, and it kind of just made him black out. However, his arm did kind of go spastic. You saw it go straight. And the look in his eyes, I mean, those are common with concussion symptoms. So it's very weird. It could go either way. He definitely had to go in the concussion protocol. And he's playing. That's the end of the story there.
You know what? I want him to play. I would not want him to not play. Anybody else want him to not play?
You heard Ariel Helwani this year, right?
You have to beat the best.
Yep. To beat the man, you got to beat the man.
I would play Chad Henne. If you guys don't want to fucking pick up the tab,
to beat the man, you got to beat the man, Nate.
You play with who's on the field.
Listen, you proud. I don't even have a good word to use for you guys, but you guys are virtue signaling. I don't need to hear about how you need to beat the best. Give me to a Super Bowl. I don't give a shit how you do it. If it means beating Chad Henne, if it means beating Blake Bortles, if it means beating Zach Wolford or whatever the hell the guy's name was, I don't care. I don't need any special story or special sauce about beating Patrick Mahomes or have it. No, just get me to the game and give me a win. I could care less who they beat. And if it's easier, you guys are freaking crazy if you're telling me that you wouldn't want the best and easiest route to the Super Bowl. You guys are riding on your high fucking horse. If you say that.
No doubt.
Yes.
No
doubt.
You know what?
The defense, Nate?
You're lying to yourself.
You see the defense, Nate?
No.
I'm going to drink to that.
How we been
I'm
playing?
gonna drink to that.
Go ahead, El.
I'm going to start a fight. Here's my situation. Did you guys watch the last time that we took these guys on? Because that cocky little shit got on with Michael Strahan, and he was like, I can out-throw Josh Allen. It'll be nice to actually have somebody who has the same kind of powerful arm that I do, but still, I can out-throw the man. No, you cannot. Right now, you got your ass knocked out, and I have a personal freaking vendetta after that interview. I am over it. I would like to come back. I would like to kick his fucking ass all up and down that.
Yes.
I'm going to kick him down. Would it be nice to have Henne and be able to go as easy as possible? Oh, 100%. But I don't want an easy route. I want to win, and I want to beat that little motherfucker. I am over it. I'm
the
ready to go.
storyline, I get the storyline to it, I agree. I want to beat Patrick Mahomes. There's no doubt about it. But don't sit here and tell me that, you'd be so disappointed if we hadn't played Chad Henne and this would ruin your day. You would go into tomorrow and you would eat medium steak instead of medium rare just to pour one out for your boy Mahomes.
Okay.
No,
you're bringing up the stakes. You're bringing up the stakes. Hold on. There was a bet, I believe, on stakes between Mr. Drew Geary and Mr. Greg Thompson. Drew, you lost, did you not?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so let me explain the bet. The bet was, and it was probably around the time of the Chargers game. I'd had enough of Brian Daboll's terrible, just awful, shitty third quarters. And so I started badgering Aaron Quinn and Greg Thompson in a group chat that we have that's literally called Meat Lovers United.
I've had to mute Drew in that. I've had to mute Drew.
Oh, he said to mute me, which makes sense. So from the time the game ended until 11:45 at night, I badgered Greg knowing that he was trying to go to sleep, knowing that he wanted nothing more than to roll into his Monday, go about it. No. You're not getting away from drunk Drew Gear that fast. I'm gonna pester you personally. I'm gonna tweet you on Facebook. I'm all over him.
Tweet you
tweet him on Twitter,
Yep.
tweeting him,
Yep.
Facebook. I had Facebook messages. I was tagging him in posts saying, Greg, you can't hide from me. So he finally, it's like 11:45, and he goes, Drew, what do you want? He goes, Brian Daboll is a good offensive coordinator. And I go, his third quarter mistakes are going to cost us a playoff game. And he goes, what do you want to bet so that we can just, I go, I'll bet you. And he goes, I don't care what it is. So what we landed on was a white linen steak dinner. And I mean, I'm not talking like, oh, hey, we show up to like someplace like EB Greens. No, we're going to do
cooked by the opponent, right?
I want a shellfish tower. I'm talking about Elijah Craig's single barrel. I'm talking about top shelf. And this is what I had in mind, thinking there's no way. This guy sucks. And then from that week forward, Brian Daboll proceeded to be like one of the NFL's best offensive coordinators. And so, of course, we go into that Colts game, and I'm thinking, okay, the first half is playing out. He's made some questionable calls. This is going to go my way. No. What do they score? 17 points or 17 points?
Yeah.
Greg muted him. I respect Greg because he muted himself to not even tempt himself to interrupt Drew during.
I needed to allow him to lay it out, and that I also, so Drew is obviously one of the most passionate Bills fans I know, represents us so well there in person constantly, is the right mix of, you know, crazy over the top fan with the ability to analytically watch the game. He also is the most over the top reaction to the game and to what's going wrong of anyone I've experienced. I plan to arrive at the delightful white linen dinner that he's going to pay for me, and as I'm eating the steak that he's bought for me, I'm going to hand him printouts of the ridiculous over the top things that he said.
Tweets.
Just terribly wrong things that he said. And I'm going to hand them to them as I enjoy another bite of steak that he's buying.
Literal receipts.
Have them read them too. Have them read them too.
Listen, and you know what? I believe in owning your mistakes, which is why this is so much fun. Because he's going to rub this, it's going to be salt in the wounds, like you're salting a tomahawk ribeye, and it's going to be one of those things that, what are you going to do? You got to admit when you're wrong. Exactly. And so I'm going to take my beating, and I'm going to enjoy it. But at least, and I said this to my podcast producer, Chris. I said, Chris, because he goes, "Are you stupid? You're going to pay through the nose for this." And I go, "But here's the best part. Even if I'm wrong, I still get to celebrate a Bills playoff win."
Yep.
So.
I know a lot of people, and obviously Ty B, I'm not sure the gambling status of everyone on the dais at the moment, but the folks who do understand that, there's always a little bit of balance there, that sometimes you bet against where your heart is, because then at the end of it, you kind of win either way. Either I got my money or I'm happy. So I respect the angle, Drew. I think it's going to work out well for both of us.
Yeah. No.
Okay, Ty B, what do you got there? Ty B.
Seneca Buffalo Creek, $100 bet on the Bills. You get a free crew neck. They're not even a sponsor, but they're giving out free money and free sweaters. So, yeah. Thank God. I put $100 money line. That was the easiest bet I've ever made in my entire life. I walked right in there. I said, $100 money line. Can I please have my sweater? I would like to leave. Thank God it doesn't smell like smoke in here right now. It's amazing.
That window, getting that window where it doesn't smell like smoke, that's a good call. That's a good pull.
Well, the entire casino doesn't right now, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we do have a Kansas City Chiefs fan coming into the super chat. Hefe KC, Mahomes GOAT, win 6 Super Bowls. Thanks, Bills. Yeah, no, I mean,
a little premature there, bud.
Yeah, kind of like what they're up to in KC, a little premature. I mean, not even he who shall not be named won the Super Bowl every year when they thought that they were the greatest team. So don't just assume you're rolling over this team. And you know what? I really didn't want to get too much into the game. I wanted to talk more about steak bets and whiskeys and all of that stuff. Ray Andrew coming in with another super chat. And he's coming to the Bills' defense. we coming into your city, eating some barbecue, and leaving with the AFC title. And I don't think there is a better description of what's going to happen tomorrow.
When you see the number of Bills
Cheers on
fans,
that one.
when you see the number of Bills fans that are traveling to KC for this game, like
Yeah, it's
when you
nuts.
think about it, well, here's what I love.
what I was just
What I
gonna
love about it is all the stories. Like people joke and people laugh and they're like, "Oh, Bills fans, they travel well." Until we show up like locusts, and every single one of your bars are out of Fireball whiskey.
Asian carp.
You can't find any draft beer. We ate it all.
Lionfish.
We gobbled up all your beer. There's no more Fireball whiskey to be had anywhere in the city limits. And you look around and you go, "What just happened to us?" Bills fans happened. KC,
Your
get ready.
Walmarts,
Coming.
your Walmarts intentionally don't stock folding tables for a
Yeah,
month.
so people bring them as carry-ons on the flight.
Yeah.
I know.
There's like a stand set up at the airport selling the tables on the access road.
They ID you at Walmart to buy a table.
Yeah.
Florida wouldn't sell
Unreal.
you one if you had a New York State ID.
That Al guy, they did the guy who owns the Backer Bar, 15,000 wings. He's projected to sell this week.
Al from
Unreal.
South Buffalo. Shout out South Buffalo.
Adam.
Shout out Al.
South Buffalo.
Unreal.
We got comments coming in to talk about Kyle Brandt and what he just released, and we're gonna take 3 minutes. Here we go.
Video.
Mafia, mount up.
Intercepted. He may go all the way. Touchdown! The Buffalo Bills advance to the AFC Championship game.
Well, I think that the Bills are coming into this game as the underdog.
I'm going to say the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the edge. The reigning defending Super Bowl champion.
The Chiefs are tough, especially at home. They're so fast. They score points. How are you going to match up?
Well, what do you know? Buffalo's still here. The Bills are still alive, and they're still hearing that everybody is waiting for them to die. They've heard it all. Getting all the way to the title game. Great season. Hey, losing to the Chiefs is nothing to hang your head about. To hell with that. Nobody's hanging their head. This team is about hanging a banner. Don't tell me about next year. Next year's for the next title. And do not insult this city by calling this team a feel-good story. You know nothing about it. Nothing feels good about decades of disappointment. Nothing feels good about the pain of watching rivals raise Lombardis, or the fear that for the rest of your life, your heart will be left hanging wide right, or the frustration of hearing the entire world wonder, will it be Mahomes versus Brady or Mahomes versus Rodgers?
I mean, Tom Brady's got 6 rings.
Which quarterback do you want, Mahomes? The most valuable to his team, Mahomes.
But Aaron Rodgers said, "Here I come." Enough. It's Buffalo versus the world.
He's got it. Touchdown, Bill.
Feel good? Yeah. Sunday night's gonna feel real good.
He's going to score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Make no mistake, these Bills are not a nice story. And between the lines, they're not nice guys.
He is brought down.
KC's got a ring. Perfect. Buffalo's got fighters. You keep your ring, the Bills will say, "Ring the bell."
Buffalo takes on.
And I say, Mafia! Mount up! This underdog is about to bite. You have a score to settle with the Super Bowl. And the champs are saying, "Come and get it." So say it with me, Bills fans. Buffalo, let's go!
Cheers. Cheers.
We lost Nate Geary because he's running through a brick wall right now. He had to bounce at 8:45.
And Judge is alive. Judge is alive.
I mean,
if you're not willing to run through,
I just Bill gathered twice.
multiple Bills.
That's 3 before the game so far.
I had to finish the.
My wife is watching. No, nothing to do with that.
No, you never know.
It's
Wasn't Kyle Brandt anointing Tua about 8 weeks ago?
Yeah, the man doesn't judge.
Do you really want to call him out after that, though?
He's
Let it go. Let it go.
Kyle Brandt also likes Tom Brady. So, I mean, like, We got to love him for certain
How about
things
this?
and
If we're going to
so-
give credit to someone on that Good Morning Football show who's been there since the very first day, Michael Robinson's my man. Mike Rob. He's been there since day one that the Bills are for real. Multiple years in a row.
Our
I've got
podcast.
somebody else we can give credit to.
Well, I was going to say, our podcast, we actually have a montage made of every single time before the season started where Michael Robinson would go on NFL Network and talk about how this is the Buffalo Bills year. They're going all the way this time. And it literally now we started doing our podcast 5 years ago, so we have 4 years of this. Just every year, it's like, oh, they got a new quarterback. This young kid's going to hit the ground running. They're going to make some noise. They're making the playoffs this year. Then he picks them to win the AFCs, and every time he's wrong, it's like the segment gets longer and longer. And then this year it happened, and we didn't make one. This is the first time we didn't make one, and the Bills make the playoffs.
Hey,
Now
Adam
they're
Shine
going-
does every other year, so Michael Robinson's more consistent.
Shine's
Adam
been
Shine
on
is
the
Okay, hold on.
on the even.
We got a super chat coming in. This is going to light some fires between Drew and Greg. Will Dable get creative this week? Finally. You know what? Have they been
We've had this exact conversation in our private chat. We've had this exact conversation that I think it's not an accident that we haven't seen a trick play for about 5 weeks now.
It's not.
That is not an accident.
So what happens is
Hold on. Did anyone see the clip of the?
You're breaking up there, Duck.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Good. Okay. Hey, Deion Dawkins ran a fade last week, and it got Allen had it, but he checked out of it. Do you guys remember seeing that? Anyone see that clip?
So the call was there. The call was there.
Yeah. Just saying, he's still creative.
He's still creative, but here's the thing. So Isaiah McKenzie, I think what's it from Go Long? He just came back. He used to work at WGR. Tyler Dunn. He wrote this piece about Isaiah McKenzie out there. It's a great piece, and they talk about all the things he's done, but he hasn't really gotten – you figure he comes off that explosive Week 17 game, and he's been essentially a non-factor in every single game. I don't think that's by mistake. I think that when you look at some of the Bills' more explosive plays over the course of the season, I read that article and I started digging back through things, and you look, there have been a lot of big plays the Bills have made where Isaiah McKenzie is the motion man. He's out there. He's a part of it, and yet he's gotten very few snaps over the course of the early goings here. To Greg's point, which I reached out to him the other day because I was like, Greg, I'm getting a little concerned. I need someone to talk me off a ledge here about Brian Dable since he won you a steak dinner. He's your guy now.
I am his champion.
He's your champion. It's like this was Game of Thrones and you picked someone to fight a battle to the death for you. He was yours.
I choose violence.
Yeah, so his
It feels like. Doesn't it feel like Isaiah McKenzie has a little bit of a Tyreek Hill in him, though?
Yes.
For the Bills, the Chiefs. That's what I see in him. I wish they would execute that a little bit more.
So what it is that they want him to be the thing that defenses, like they talk about it in the Tyler Dunn article, and you see it on tape when you rewatch the games. When he comes across the formation, every linebacker is calling out his number. They're pointing at him. Everyone's attention shifts to him, and it makes everybody else's life easier. Even if he's not the recipient of a target, everyone now has to factor in what he's doing, and it's just one more thing. Well, you haven't seen that, and to me, I'm hoping that means that they're just going to kitchen sink this Kansas City defense, where they're just like, hey, all the stuff that we didn't throw at Indy, that we didn't throw at Baltimore, here it is. Good luck.
Yeah. And the Chiefs will be missing one of their primary starting linebackers in Willie Gay, who's a very, very good linebacker, very good lateral speed, very good ability. Very good ability to adjust. And so you got to look and wonder, Dawson Knox, Isaiah McKenzie, around that middle of the field between the hashes, let's see some action from those two.
Well,
right. Plus, the last game we were missing Matt Milano. How big of a factor is that going to be in this one? Because I look at this game compared to the last, Kelsey killed them in that game. I think Matt Milano, huge factor. You cannot take him out of the game, but I think limiting him compared to what they did against him in the first game, huge factor. The Bills have not lost with Matt Milano on the field this year, so that to me is something I look at talking about guys in and out.
I talked about that in my spy piece with Milano and then Tremaine being hobbled, in that Week 6 game against the Chiefs. But, I mean, I need Matt Milano to be Jerome Baker from the Miami Dolphins this week. I need him. I need him to be Jerome Baker, because Jerome Baker is the one who got that 30-yard sack on Patrick Mahomes. That was very, very nearly a safety. I broke down that play in great detail in the SPY this week, and it really is an exquisite play from start to finish from the Miami defense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's why I call it Dolphin Tell. And the Leslie Frazier and McDermott, they need to pick that up and run with it and use Milano in that same way, and he can do it.
Drew Geary is saying he's got some good Milano stats here in our private chat that we can see. So, Drew, the floor is yours.
So these are the things I do to kind of quell my own mania. Like, all this research I do is just because I'm a lunatic and I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. So I'm looking at this and I started thinking about it. What's the difference in our team with or without Matt Milano? I mean, the whole undefeated has gotten a lot of press. But when you break it down into per game averages, passing yards were 58 yards per game better per game with Matt Milano on the field than without. In rush yards, we're 30 yards per game. But when you talk about red zone defense, right now the Bills have only allowed 2 red zone scores this postseason. So what are we, 2 for 8 now in the red zone? When you look at Matt Milano on the field versus off, our team allows with him just 18.6 points per game. Without him, 29.8. A lot of that comes in the red zone. And when you think back to that Indy game and what an integral role he played in taking away the short stuff, the tight ends, coming down hard to break up plays to those running backs. And in first downs, teams average 5 more first downs per game without Matt Milano on the field. Tell me that 10 points, 11 points, and 5 extra first downs isn't enough to swing a football game.
100%.
It is.
Nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily direct coverage, but it is what he does in breaking on these routes, especially those underneath to the receivers, with his bubble routes, those running backs coming out. That's exactly what he does. He's so much faster than any other linebacker out there. You see what he does. He breaks on that ball, and he keeps guys away from the line of scrimmage. And you see so many times over the past few seasons with the Bills, you get a guy in a close yardage situation, and all they have to do is fall forward for it. The Bills sort of just make the tackle. They push him forward. Matt Milano is the one guy the past 2 weeks who has been pushing forward no matter what, and you love to see that. And it's been coming from a lot of the young guys. Ed Oliver's been doing the same thing. Justin Zimmer the same way. It's just you're not falling with your tackle. You're pushing forward no matter what, keeping the feet moving the same way that the receivers and running backs are doing, and that's helping this defense out a ton. It's not like, a 10-yard difference. It's the feet difference that's going to get you to the Super Bowl versus where going home early, basically.
Plus, you factor in the fact that the Chiefs are 26 in red zone efficiency in regards to getting touchdowns. The Bills are number 1 on defense as of right now. So I feel like this game might come down to, the Chiefs are clearly going to move the ball. There's no way you're going to keep them from getting into your territory, but if you can hold the Chiefs to field goals once they get into that territory, that to me seems huge. What an awesome point, though, there about Matt Milano. You factor that in compared to those 2 stats as well. Who knows how much this one swings? The Bills kept it really close the last time without him. This one's just very intriguing for a lot of different ways. It's a completely different Bills team compared to what we last saw.
People use that best play in that game. Edmonds was there but dinged up.
That was the game where he was overrunning everything and using his wrong shoulder coming in on tackles.
And don't forget, McDermott. This is the Week 6 game is when McDermott made all the changes to the defensive line.
Cam Lewis also started over Tyron Johnson.
That's when Cam Lewis came up. Levi Wallace was struggling in that game. Andy was hobbled by an injury. So there was a bunch of crap that happened in this game. And also, I mean, I can't take credit for this point. Sal Capaccio made this point on WGR, but I want to reiterate it for the fans. The Bills had a great game plan in theory in the Week 6 game, but the problem is that they overdid it. They were too passive, and I kind of reframed that in my spy article as well. But they were overdoing it in essence. So in theory, it was a good game plan, but they sold out completely to stop one thing, and maybe a function of that was that was all they had within their capability. To look at capabilities and limitations, the defense was very limited.
And I think
there's been a lot of talk about, obviously people brought up Milano, they brought up Tyron Johnson, being benched for Cam Lewis, they brought up the changes on the defensive line. One thing I haven't heard anywhere, Do you guys know who the starting guards were in that game? Because it was Cody Ford and Brian Winters.
Yep.
And Chris Jones and Alex Okafor dominated the interior of that game. They had 12 pressures between the two of them because they ate Cody Ford and Brian Winters' lunch the entire game. And I don't know that, it's not like all of a sudden John Feliciano and Ike Bacher are, all pros, but they're not going to get road graded like what happened in that other game. That's going to be a really sneaky addition that all Josh needs is that extra half a second to be able to get the ball out. I think they can get him that half second.
And you mentioned, Greg, like the combination of everything that everyone's mentioned so far, whether it's Trey White coming back from an injury, whether it is Teron Johnson being benched for Cam Lewis. That was Trent Murphy's first game being benched. Harrison Phillips' first game being benched. Matt Milano was out. Trey Emmons was in the middle of his shoulder injury. Like, defensively, we were at an all-time low. Our interior offensive line, we were at an all-time low. And I'm not going to take credit for this take because it was Clay Troya from our Buffalo Counterpoint and the Hump Day Highline who said this. He said, listen, Josh Allen was the hottest quarterback the first 4 weeks in the National Football League. The Tennessee Titans figured him out. The Tennessee Titans were the first team that figured Josh Allen out. They figured out how to defend him. And because the Buffalo Bills were shuffling between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans because they had no idea who they were going to play, the Buffalo Bills really didn't have enough time after that Tennessee game to really look at the film and switch things up. So after the Tennessee Titans figured them out, they kind of had to roll with the same game plan against the Kansas City Chiefs. And since that game, the only game we have lost was a Hail Mary to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
So once Josh Allen figured out what those Tennessee Titans did to him, we pretty much haven't lost a game.
Well, we've thrown 13 passes to 13 touchdown passes to 13 different players this season. We got a super chat coming in here now. I got to scroll back up and find it, of course, as my system jumps up. Carl Tommen wants us to pick who is going to get the surprise touchdown tomorrow. Ryan Bates, Deion Dawkins. Could Andre Roberts finally house one? Josh Allen, I don't think it's a surprise whether he scores with his legs, with his hands, or throwing the ball.
Number 14 will be Kenny Stills.
Ooh.
I like
Kenny
that a lot.
Stills.
I like that.
I don't mind that.
Yeah,
Not even active
Mitch
yet.
Morse.
Well, I asked the question
Yeah.
earlier this week. I go, with the questionable designation given to Davis, we saw him at the end of that Ravens game. He missed a pass because he couldn't jump. He literally could not elevate, and that's a ball that he could have easily had any other week.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at that and say, how effective can he be if those are the types of passes Josh expects him to the thigh dance?
He's not even watching.
He's not even reading it. He's not even reading it.
That's hilarious.
There he is.
But so
Okay, when Drew gets done with this point, we'll do the thigh dance.
So my question
You want to do it this early?
Do it in the middle.
If Davis were to
Let me
sit,
cue up the music.
and with the elevation of Kenny Stills, you got to wonder. Brian Daboll's the guy who, as an Alabama fan, I know this, kept two distinct playbooks in his back pocket for a collegiate season. Yeah, you like that, Landers, don't you? Roll Tide.
Yeah,
you roll Tide. So
I don't even have a college football team.
Roll Tide basketball.
So what happens is he kept two distinct playbooks in his back pocket for an entire season for two different quarterbacks. And in the championship game, he had to pull one out, and he was ready to go. And him and Tua Tagovailoa go on to win the national title. I look at Kenny Stills and I go, he's been here for 3 weeks. Daboll's not a dumb man. I've learned that. I'm going to have to pay for that. So he's not dumb.
We just
I
want you
wonder
to
what
fill
he's
out
been
the
able
Brian
to cook.
Dable apology form.
If there was one, I would.
There is one.
I can bring it with.
There is one. Going, Allie.
I think
Draft
most
it
of
up,
them
Allie.
No,
there
there definitely
you
is
guys
one.
draft it. You guys draft it. I will fill it out.
I
We'll
think
make a whole
Meerkat has
apology
it. I'll
video.
send it to you.
We'll do it
I
at
got
dinner.
you, babe.
Greg and I will shoot the video. We will do it at dinner as I'm signing the bill for the steak that I will buy him. I will sign the apology form. But what I want to know is how creatively you can use a guy like Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills is a veteran. He's got some speed. Yeah, he does 2 routes well, a post and a 9 route. But you can use those to clear out a lot of other things. And when teams don't have tape on you, it allows you to do some other things. You could get Stephon Diggs playing off of some of that coming out of the slot. I just think that he could be creative with this, and it could actually be a plus to our offense if Stills were to get snaps.
I like that.
We got Chiefs fan. Go ahead, Judge.
I just need everyone to know that I need to refill my drink, but I'm waiting for the thigh dance. Can we get the thigh dance? So I can refill my
You got it queued up?
Yeah, I got it queued up.
We need the thigh dance, and then we need L talking shit to all these Chiefs fans because I'm looking at these comments. I need L talking shit to him.
Yeah,
See, I don't even know what the
There
thigh
you
dance
go.
is. I'm interested in it.
Here we go.
Baby thigh Chiefs fans out there.
Skip leg day.
I am so ready for this.
No one skips leg day. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Let her rip. Do it live.
He's freezing.
Make it
Oh
rain.
my gosh.
Love it.
Oh, no way we lose now.
Bills by a billion,
These
baby.
fans need to be afraid of. This man could dance on their graves.
Are those Zuba
Chiefs fans
spandex?
don't love it, but it's fine.
Where do I get the Zuba spandex from?
Yeah.
I can help with that. Ladies' website.
Hey, where'd you get those Zuba spandex from? I got to get those on the pre-order ASAP.
Think China.
Yeah, the fact that L responded to that, I'm not 100% they sell them in the men's section, but they look good.
I got XL women's on.
Listen, I've been known to rock an American flag Speedo. If I can find out where those are, I'd wear a pair. Now, see, here's the best part. He has a body for it. I'll just do it because why not? Life's too short not to, right?
Thought this was America.
I've seen
I thought
Jordan.
this was America. Yeah, Ty has actually seen me in a man thong.
Mm-hmm. I've also seen him crying because of chicken wings. So, like, I've seen this man in very vulnerable situations, and the confidence he has right now, I absolutely love it. That's why I'm so ready for this game.
The full spectrum.
It's a completely different Drew right now. Like, he's bought into Brian Dable. He's bought in to this Bills team completely. He's a defensive guy. He's a gritty guy. And
in our
I'm on no fly list by the goddamn way. Do you see this mustache? This is not a bomber mustache. This is a goddamn Buffalo Bills.
That's a Smithsonian mustache.
I'm sorry, Josh Allen couldn't do it with me. I grew it out in solidarity with Josh, and he couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I did not want to embarrass him this way, but this is what happened.
No, Ty, you want to talk about me getting on bandwagons? How about this is the season where I've been singing Josh Allen's praises since week 1, and everyone looked at me and goes, wait a minute, who is this guy? When did he enter the chat? Because I'm the guy who famously, for those of you out there who don't know,
shamed him on Twitter.
I was at a destination wedding for this draft where we took Josh Allen.
Yes.
My wife took me to Jamaica for her friend's wedding. And
that poor thing.
The night of the rehearsal dinner is the night of the first round. So I'm the only one on a phone because all the other husbands are trying to be good to their wives and trying to be respectful, and I don't give a shit about any of this. I'm over here. My wife knows. She's like, okay, just sit here and shut up, watch the draft, don't bother people. So I've been drinking liquor on the rocks all day, and when we draft Josh Allen, I come off the rails. Fast forward a couple hours, the bartender at the sports bar on the resort left me with the bottle because he's like, this guy, I'm not stopping him. And at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm on the balcony of our room just yelling that I'm naked with a beer in each hand, yelling that pants are irrelevant. Because she's like, you can't be out there naked. And I was like, pants don't matter. Pants are irrelevant because Josh
We're in
Allen's
another country.
And
you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, and fast forward a few years, now here I am looking every weekend going, thank God that guy's my quarterback. That's
No. Hold on. Drew, the fast forward a few years is, and that woman still married him.
We weren't even married at the time.
Scenario,
She could have still jumped ship.
Yeah, she had a chance to
She
jump.
still could. She still could. Don't get it wrong. She still could.
She's a
Don't
saint.
you ever forget it.
She's a saint.
All right, we got a super
Greg,
chat coming in.
Where'd you find the snowy hat, by the way, Greg? Where'd you find
All
that?
right. So my biggest flex on the show is
some BS.
I'm in Cleveland and I have the hat.
Yeah,
So,
how'd you pull that off?
Nice.
The
Might be
benefits,
chilly.
The benefits of having a co-host who loves me dearly and literally the night that these were happening, went out at night to Wegmans to pick us up both hats and already shipped it overnight to me.
Wow.
So I already have the hat by the love and grace of
That's
Aaron
like
Quinn.
a $50 like shipping order, to be honest.
Like jizz.
What a sight. That's great.
Now, hold on. I heard the side comment. This hat does not. But if anyone saw the red one looks like a different bodily fluid.
The knockoff. I've seen that.
No, there's a melting logo, and then there's the frozen logo.
Yes.
They're different. They're very different. Make sure you look close.
The red one is not great.
Yeah,
This
it looks
one's
like
the
another
light-
white substance that's not frozen, which is not good.
it's not great.
On your hat.
2 minutes ago,
Use your imagination.
2 minutes ago, Jeff, you might have missed the best comment in the entire chat, which is that Ty B's out here stealing gems from Sonic.
I did see that. I wish I was right.
I'm trying to get all the super chats in. We got a question out there. This, who throws a pass other than Josh Allen? And my system is being funky here. It's losing all my super chats here. Zach Vaughn, you've been quiet. Who throws a pass other than Josh Allen? Give me a quick answer on that one.
Well, I will say, seeing as I did earlier in this season write a quarterback succession plan article, let's see, Isaiah McKenzie already threw one, which I did not actually expect. I think I may have to go with Singletary if anyone's going to throw a pass.
I've got a hot one. I've got a hot one for
How
that.
about Diggs?
Go ahead.
Diggs?
I've got a hot one. Dawson Knox.
John Brown.
He played quarterback. He's a former quarterback.
Hey,
Dawson Knox.
Devin
I can see
Singletary
that.
played against Lamar Jackson in youth football. That's why I suggested him. But yeah, Dawson Knox has probably more prior experience than Singletary, so that's a pretty good one as well. I kind of want to, speaking of Isaiah McKenzie, I kind of want to go back to that a little bit. I love that dude. I have loved him since like 2019. I love the jet sweeps. They need to bring that back. Like you said, I'm G the kitchen sink. Quite frankly, this is almost the de facto Super Bowl matchup right now.
Yes.
And then next week will be USA.
You think
Finland.
so?
You figure it out. No,
I
you
think
figure it
so.
out.
Ooh.
You
But,
play this like no matter what, and then you figure it out. I think
Yeah.
going forward, you
Yeah, you
haven't
come up
done
with something
anything week
after that.
17, week 16, week 15, even like you haven't done much with that offense. I think that's exactly what you're waiting for. You're not putting things on tape for a reason.
Yeah, I think Zach had a great call. If anybody didn't hear that, calling
Exactly.
the USA-Russia matchup and then the USA-Finland, that was a great.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Love it.
That's
Well, you know
basically
what?
it is.
He also brought up Miracle, like you said. This type of thing is what movies are made of. The Mighty Ducks never ever beat the Hawks or Iceland or the Varsity in the first matchup. They never did it. That's how you write the movies. You always lose the first matchup before coming back and winning the second matchup. The Team USA. Whoa! All right, we're gonna stop right here. We got a $99 super chat coming in, and we're gonna get this one right away.
I'm not on 6 no fly list.
Just
I'm
to
not.
say, Lee Smith. That's
could
all.
fly to
Carry
Kansas
on.
City.
Go Bills.
I could fly to Kansas City right now if I wanted. Is it because I got a shirt with Benny throwing a Pyrex for a touchdown, or is it because of the mustache? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The Bills are going to win by – I don't care. You're not asking for a prediction right now. 41-20. It doesn't matter. And Lee Smith is going to score.
Lee Smith, that is all. Carry on. Listen, for the 34-year-old,
I'll give it to him. I'll give him
middle-aged, slowing down. My all body parts creak when I wake up in the morning. Lee Smith is my absolute hero. And if he scores a touchdown, I would be absolutely ecstatic. But where I was going was that's how you write movies. Even Team USA didn't beat Russia in Madison Square Garden 2 weeks before the Olympics started, 2 days, whatever it was, before the Olympics started. They lost. Then they come back and beat them. And not to mention, Josh Allen is a much better main character than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was raised the son of a major leaguer, and all he had to overcome was a little bit of chubbiness at Texas Tech. Okay,
weird voice too.
Josh Allen was told
Kingsbury, all right?
he had to overcome what?
Cliff Kingsbury.
Well,
weird voice too.
Kingsbury is your problem in the desert. Now, Josh Allen had to
he's also
overcome
gonna
being
overcome his
told.
brother and his girlfriend TikToking. That's the main reason I want the Bills to win tomorrow more than anything. I cannot tolerate watching those two TikTok. It's absolutely unbearable. You guys seen him, by the way? Have you seen his brother?
No.
His fiance TikTok?
Nope.
It's unbelievable.
No.
Did I freeze out?
Nope.
I think I froze up for a second there.
Yeah, no. There you go. Josh Allen is a much better main character. He's been told no his whole life. He had to go the junior college route on the life board before. I mean, he's a much better main character. This is how you write movies.
Oh, he's like Spider-Man.
How so?
Complete fucking underdog. He's been a nerd, basically. He got sat down by literally everybody. MJ did not want his dick. Like, it just was a thing.
So you're saying Spider-Man was Spider-Man a simp? Is that what you're saying?
Spider-Man has something to do with those new Bills hats at Wegmans, I think.
Simp the shit out of literally everything
How about
that
the
he ever
story
got.
that
He
came
still
out
didn't
today?
get fucking anywhere.
He was driving around the cornfields, picking everybody up in his truck for school.
Yeah.
And that's the guy I wanted as my quarterback.
That's a great story, by the way. That's
the
a
guy.
fantastic story.
I can also listen. I can listen to Josh Allen talk and not get a headache either. Oh, guys, it was a nice game. I thought it was pretty dynamic out there, and we played cheap football. And, I thought it was great. Yeah,
it's not like me talking. You know what I mean?
Josh Allen has started to finish every single one of his interviews with "Go Bills," and it just, my heart melts every time. And you guys know that my heart is black and ice cold and all the shit. I love that. Go Bills!
I actually wish Josh Allen showed a little more personality in his interviews. Don't you guys think
he does look good in shorts? Do you want to show more thigh?
I mean, that's all the personality he needs to show.
His
right?
balance is very intentional. The fact that he doesn't show anything in the pressers, he gives nothing to the opponent, and then he talks more shit than anyone on the football field. All the team talks about it.
Yeah.
He's like Larry Bird on the field. Like he talks more trash than anybody, but then he never gives them any ammo in the presser.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do as a football player. You don't give a reason for anyone to hit you other than for the shit you're saying / doing on the field. Like, don't give them any ammo off of it. Say, yep, nope, I just ran you over. I just juked you out. You see it. You saw what just happened, bud.
Yeah.
We have
you get what you see with Josh Allen. Like you get what you see. You get what he shows you. Like I think of what was said in Last Chance U. Like everybody loves sausage, but nobody wants to see how it's made. So like that's what I think of. Like you see Josh Allen's finished product, but you don't see everything that occurs behind the scenes, and that's part of his persona. That's part of what he wants you to see.
Eric literally sent us a message the other day. He's like, "Yo, guys, have you ever seen Last Chance U?" My first question to him was like, "Dude, what is it? 2014? Like, why? How are you now?" But we got Ben C coming in here saying, "Have you guys girl ever met in real life?" I'm going to say technically no. I mean, at least 3 nights a week, I watch Z-Bot while he's sleeping, but he's never conscious.
I know. I've met Drew.
I'm going to meet Drew at the Hammers lot at some point when I make it to a game.
Yeah, I think best case scenario, we've all run into each other at random ass bars. Like, Judge, maybe you and I have both been at Bottled Blonde at the same time, and maybe I've come across Ty B as some.
If we're playing 7 degrees, Drew is our Kevin Bacon.
Ty B's mustache and the Smithsonian.
Definitely the pink.
This is the thing. Being a season ticket holder, being a guy who's at every game, I'm the person who seems to collect. Like, there's listeners to our podcast who have traveled from places like Portugal and Australia to just come tailgate with us.
I've met some.
But we're mainstays. We're always there. So people seem to kind of find us and then meet each other there, and there seems to be some of that congregation. I met Greg a couple summers ago when he came into town, and he gave me one of the biggest compliments anyone's ever given me, which was at the end of a night of drinking. I mean, we're talking, we probably started at about 6. This is about at 1 a.m. when he's getting ready to figure out how he's got to get back to his hotel room.
I had to stumble to my hotel room.
But he goes, Drew, I met you, and I'm glad to know that it's not a shtick. He goes, this persona that you have, this wild man that you, this is who you are. This isn't.
that
it's
is
real.
100%. That's 100%.
It's real.
Like that's what I'm saying. I've met him. I've been with him a few times now. A few times I've watched him eat some of the hottest wings I've ever seen. We've had him in Studio D for Trainwreck. Like that is Drew constantly. Like you see him freaking out on a game day or whatever. That it literally is him.
One of my funniest nights with Ty is when Trainwreck Sports put together Podathon over at this kind of corner bar in West Seneca, and it was a disaster of a thing. The whole thing just went tits up right out of the gate. And we got our way through it, though. It was fun. People who showed up had fun. It was a great time. And then the Blue Light Girls showed up. And I've been drinking for hours at this point, and they start giving out, like, in gym class, how they give you the pennies, and there's always, like, one people are shirts and one people have pennies on. Well, they're giving them to us to play Flip Cup, and I take my shirt off to put the penny on.
You saying people have paid you money to take your shirt off? Is that what's going on?
And so now I have this
close enough.
And then I decide after I get done playing the beer pong, I'm obviously terrible at it, so I get eliminated almost immediately. And I go to leave, and the one girl's like, "Well, we need that back." And Ty's like, "Dude, you got to give that back to him." And I go, "They don't need anything from me. That's fine." I go, "Ladies, get that." And I got a beer for the road and walked out the door.
Yeah,
got into the car that was going.
No,
to
I literally turned to them. I'm like, "No, he's good." I like if.
But I left Ty to handle that. I go, "Ty, you got this.
He knows.
He
knows I
have a
know.
rapport with these ladies. You handle this, but I'm leaving, and you know that I'm leaving. Like I'm just."
Exactly. I'm like, you're not getting that back. There's sweat on it. You don't want it back to begin with. So, like, I don't know why you're even asking, but do you like? You're giving him, you're giving him away the rest of the night. Like, why would you even worry about one of them that has sweat all over it?
She's like, "Well, we need those back." No, you don't. No, not this one.
But yeah, my compliment to him truly was, I've listened to the shows, I've enjoyed the persona, I've seen the reaction videos, I've seen the post-game pressers. I just had to assume it was a caricature that you leaned into the eccentricities of your own personality. And I watched it in person for 7 straight hours with his wife alongside him. It is 100% real and authentic, every ounce of it. Every ounce of it is very, very real. There is no shtick to that man. He is genuine through and through.
I watched his wife like literally go to the car to like get things, so like to wipe sweat off his face as he's eating like Carolina Reaper peppers, like, and she's just standing there at the bar, like, yeah, no, this is just like a normal Friday night for Drew. Like, we've been there, we've been through this. Like, this isn't the hottest wing he's ever had. Like, he's only like sweating like a little bit. Like, there's not.
It's in a bar, and there's people chanting my name. Like, the bar owner didn't understand the anarchy that was going to break out in this place when he allowed us to live stream it. If Nate was here, it was essentially Nate and Maniac from Trainwreck commentating the whole thing, and it was their kind of commentary that kept me going, because you're essentially going to die. I mean, that stuff.
No matter what. He's trying to eat a banana afterwards. She's bringing him bananas out of the car. Like, trying to think that the one banana is going to stop the Carolina Reaper pepper. Like,
my
good luck.
ride or die.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's phenomenal.
And,
like,
in Bill's Mafia,
many shout-outs you can give to her.
Drew, and on a normal tailgate, you're in the Hammers lot. Is that correct?
No, we park in the mud lot. We'll go to visit the guys in the Hammers lot, but what we do is we park in the mud lot because they let us park at 5:30 a.m. Because we got tents, we got grills.
I've seen those pictures.
We gotta get going.
I've seen those pictures.
We gotta get going, so I gotta be there before sunup, and nobody else will let us do it but the mud lot. I mean, that's where my dedication to my craft is at.
Where's the mud lot?
Okay, I
got a quick.
There is
Matt Barkley better than Pat. In terms of investment in Bitcoin, that is a fact.
Yes, Matt Barkley did once say this train never stops. I have not heard Pat Mahomes say that once, so I don't know.
It's a fact.
As somebody
Matt Barkley crushes the Jets.
Matt Barkley Bitcoin Barkley and gone pretty viral.
Exactly.
Like I want to be best friends with Matt Barkley on a regular basis. As a person, 127%. He is a better person than Patrick Mahomes could ever hope to be. I absolutely adore him.
Pat
He
Mahomes
started the Bitcoin revolution in the NFL.
Pat Mahomes puts ketchup on his well-done steak. I mean, he's a terrorist.
Don't worry, they're out of ketchup this weekend.
At least he doesn't put ranch on it.
There was a tweet shared in our private chat here, guys. Matthew Bove says, "I'm working at my desk in my hotel room." He's in Kansas City right now for the Bills game, and he says, "I can hear the Bills fans chanting the shout song I'm on the 4th floor. If this isn't going well right now for Bills fans,
taking over.
Let's go.
They're gonna take it over. 17,000. What's the over/under on the fans?
The folding table going through airport security in Kansas City.
Oh, it was magnificent.
There was Kay Gimmick on Twitter. She was like, everyone here, like everyone on my flight to Kansas City is a Bills fan. Like, they're only
I saw at least 15 to 20 videos, separate videos. So they can't all be on the same flights.
They're only allowing 15,000 people into the stadium.
So if there was 6,700 at our home game, could there be 6,700 at our road game?
It could be.
What's the over/under on that stadium being Bills fans? I think it's 17,000 tickets out. What is the over/under on that game being Bills fans? Is it half? Is it 8-5?
It's got to be at least 40.
Over/under.
Absolutely no fewer than 9,000.
So
fewer than 9,000.
I'll give a little bit of background. I've lived outside of Buffalo for 20 plus years now. Almost every game I've gone to has been outside of Buffalo, and has been to road games that I've come home for some in between, but I've gone to a lot of road games. Don't underestimate our passion and the fact that you heard Al Michaels and Chris Collins were talking about no fan base could make 6,700 sound like 67,000. The percentage won't match what the volume is. So in actual math, I'm going to guess it's closer to 15 or 20%, and it's going to sound like 50-50. I'm going to guess that we're 3,000 of the 15,000 tickets, and it's going to sound like 50-50. And
that's
in
a good
Atlanta, in Jacksonville, in Tennessee, so many of those games that are kind of famous takeover games, the actual math was we were more like 15 or 20% of the stadium, but it sounded like we were the home team.
Yeah, I actually have a friend. I have a friend who lives in Kansas City. He's a Kansas City Chiefs diehard fan, but his wife is a doctor, so she's really worried about COVID. He hasn't gone to any games this season because of that. So he actually sold his tickets on the secondary market to Bills fans for $1,500 a piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got
at
this comment here.
midfield. At midfield.
Al, you said you wanted to take over on this comment. So I'm going to read the comment real quick, and then Al will take over. To a lot of mainstream talking heads, we are still a flash in the pan, and most are picking against us. Will a win against Kansas City finally change the narrative? Al, the stage is yours.
I have been sitting here all week watching these shitty-ass commentators come out and say this just absolute ridiculous crap. And every single fucking one of them wants to say the same thing. Kansas City's going to win. Pat Mahomes is going to come back. Everything is all going to be good. Well, you know what? We are going into this as the ultimate underdog. And have you looked at our fan base? We were all biting our nails going into that Ravens game. We were terrified going into that Ravens game. Lamar Jackson is a bad man. We did not want to go up against him. We're nowhere near as nervous as we were going into this game as we were last game. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, if we have that kind of energy and if we are traveling the way that we are showing up in literal fucking herds. We are showing up in herds to go and take on everything that's happening down in Kansas City. There's no possible way we cannot win this, which means that we're now not only going to completely fucking change that narrative, we are going to turn this entire country on its ass. Everybody who has been sitting and just voting against us week after week after goddamn week, they're going to be looking at it and going, these Bills are legit. And they're going to question every underdog team. They're going to come back and they're going to go, I don't know, maybe we were wrong. There are going to be so many Josh Allen and Brian Daboll apology forms going all across the internet. It's going to literally break Twitter. I'm ready. I am fucking ready. So yes, the answer is 1,000%. Yes, yes, yes. We are changing the narrative this week. We're winning this game tomorrow. Every 27 years, we have this same matchup against this same team. And we are better than we have ever been. There is no possibility that we can't win because every 27 years, we win this same matchup against the same team. I refuse to believe that we cannot win tomorrow. I'm going in with the attitude that we have already won. We are going to that Super Bowl, and we're taking it on And it doesn't matter who it is that we're going up against. I don't give a shit if it's Tom Brady or if it's Aaron Rodgers. They're both fucking old, and Josh Allen is going to run circles around those motherfuckers. Let's all drink to that. Cap integrity.
Cap integrity.
Cap integrity, drink.
Oh, we got cap integrity. Got to drink. All right, we got another super chat coming in here. Thank you to POD Protect Our Dirt, beating Tom Brady, Super Bowl, burning Bills, closest ghost gone, ghosts and skeletons gone. Yeah, I mean, one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys, because I wanted to talk more about non-game issues, but we can jump into the NFC Championship game as well. Who do you want to win the NFC game regardless of what happens in Buffalo? Because you're going to be rooting for the NFC game before the Bills game gets on. What's the consensus? Do we want our tormentor? Are we going? What's the name of the disease? Is it Stockholm Syndrome?
Yep.
Where you basically fall in love with the person who's torturing you? Yep. Are we suffering from Stockholm Syndrome and want to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, or is it just like fuck it and we want Aaron Rodgers because we're sick of the damn State Farm commercials?
My thing was I always hated Bill Belichick more than I hated Brady, because I feel like Bill Belichick was, he was the conductor of the orchestra rather than, one of the instrument players. But I actually want musician, I guess is a better word. Excuse me. But I actually want to see Brady go to the Super Bowl because I find him more likable in Tampa Bay. I hate to say it, but I do. I got to be honest. I'll keep it 100. But I kind of want to see him go to the Super Bowl. Do I think he'll win it? No. But I think he's more likable in Tampa Bay than he was playing for the Patriots. Just like that moment that he had with Drew Brees.
No.
Has anyone seen The Truman Show?
Right here, right now. No,
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
This is him trying to high-five the officials. I refuse to believe that he is more likable. He has been a bigger bitch. He's been a bigger whiner. He has thrown his helmet. He has cried. He's been angry on the bench. He has yelled at his teammates. He's been an awful person, and he has been legitimately worse than I ever saw him in his 47 fucking years that he lived in Boston. He sat there in Foxborough, and he was a complete piece of shit. But he's a bigger piece of shit in Tampa because he doesn't want to be there. He wants to go home to daddy and sit there with Bill and just be like, please just love me. No, you know what? Nobody fucking loves you. Everybody fucking hates you. You're a piece of shit. Go high-five your fucking officials. Just blow every single one of them. I'm done today. He's not a better person. He's trash all around. I want to take him down more than I want to take down Aaron Rodgers, whose own family doesn't even fucking like him.
Would it have not been the best moment?
Go ahead.
Would it have not been the best televised moment of our lives if that referee just high-fived Tom Brady? If that ref extended his hand 6 inches and slapped his hand, it would have been the greatest thing on TV since the moon landing.
Guys, I'm pretty sure Tom Brady high-fived the ref in Buffalo like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably did. I mean,
everything that we've thought for so many years.
Yeah, I gotta say, for my opinion on this, it's just like, I get that you would want to face that extra demon, in the Super Bowl, to face Brady, check off that box of beating him in the big game. It would be that perfect narrative for that movie that will be made about this. But honestly, and pardon my language, fuck that asshole. Fuck Tom Brady. I don't want him anywhere near the Super Bowl. He's been there enough. Like, screw him. I'd rather see Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, we have the voice of Buffalo fanatics joining in. We said this was an open house party for people who got invites, and Joe Miller popping in. Thank you very much. The voice.
What's up,
Joe?
everybody?
Come on, you're coming on. Give it to us. Are you doing steaks? What's going on?
So Thompson's gone, so I really can't talk steaks necessarily.
I'm back.
Thompson's back right there.
Awesome. So we did not. I did not give up on the stitiousness of steaks. We actually grilled up some sirloins and we did steak fajitas tonight. So the boho mojo is still flowing as it pertains to the steak riding. So perfectly medium rare done steaks. Who's flushing the toilet? What is that noise?
I think Thigh Doctor's doing something.
My cardiologist is very concerned with the Super Bowl run, but we'll deal with it afterwards.
Dude, that slice of meat that you had today was unbelievable looking.
Dude.
Holy!
That's how you know Greg is old, because he has a cardiologist. Like, what the hell is going on here?
I have a butcher. I have a cardiologist.
Greg, I do have a bone to pick with you.
I have a rheumatologist, so like
I have a handle. I have a handle of bullet. I'm not seeing a cardiologist. What are you
I need to let Greg off the hook. I'm way older. So,
Greg, I do have a bone to pick with you, buddy. I tweeted at you Monday with a picture of steaks, and since it was a Monday, I just did them quick on the indoor smokeless grill, and I said it's never too early to do your 111th on a Monday, and I got nothing. No like, no retweet, nothing.
I'm usually pretty good about that too, and I have to say, a lot of people assume, and I'm sure that all the rest of you get this as well, that people think this is our real jobs, and that we don't have like actual jobs.
It's not.
And it's not. So oftentimes during the week, I have periods of, actually earning a paycheck. So I apologize. I'm usually pretty good about that.
I mean, it had to have been like 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So if you're in Ohio, that would have been 8 o'clock. You should have been on Twitter at least at that point.
I feel shame.
By the way, Greg, just in case, because I've been watching the whole show, so I've been listening the whole time. But I know that there is a white linen dinner coming that somebody else is paying for you. You might as well take the 2-hour drive down to Smith & Wolinski's at Easton in Columbus, because it is choice.
So I will say, we had this discussion. So Drew and I discussed it. Is it home territory since I won the bet? And I said, since obviously the vast majority of our listeners are Buffalo-based and Western New York-based listeners, we want to open it up to be able to identify and support a local business that's ready to get back opened up and that should deserve probably a concerning amount of Drew's hard-earned money, so that way that we can support them appropriately in the local economy.
Nice. So Buffalo, or is it going to be in Cleveland?
Buffalo. We'll be back there, and I'll make the trip. We'll make a whole show out of it. It's gonna be fantastic.
I'm in.
The amount of money we're gonna spend at this, I mean, it's one of those things. Cuomo should pay attention. It's like Cuomo says there's a hole in the deficit. He should be paying attention to what's going on.
He's gonna fill it right now. He's gonna make so much money off of you guys.
This is like when
we tried to gauge it and said, this isn't like, hey, you need to take out a short-term loan, but this is like, hey, you might need to brace your wife, like that kind of amount of money.
So
like you might need to let her know ahead of time, hey, this could get out of hand.
So not Applebee's.
This will be like when the varsity took the Mighty Ducks, the JV team, in Mighty Ducks 3 out to dinner and stuck them with the bill. And it's like $800. That's what it's going to be like.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
No, listen, I'm shooting. See, I'm already looking forward to higher. I'm going to see just how crazy we can get this, because what I'm thinking is there's something.
Can I serve the meal? I'll keep my mustache if I'm allowed to serve the meal. I'll keep it until the meal is served.
That's like a judge bet. Judge, your tattoo is slowly getting bigger. Can we bring up the tattoo, please? Alan jumping the ass crack of Judge's backside.
It's magical.
Okay.
When the Bills win the Super Bowl.
Vertical smile.
Time out. Here, and I have to bring Jay Spence into this because obviously the bet is with him. So I have to ask him for his approval.
Oh.
So you have two choices. I will get the JA7 tattoo on my ass permanent the rest of my life. I will do that because that is what I agreed to. Or I will get Josh Allen leaping over my ass crack if it's a henna tattoo. Not permanent.
No.
Not a substitute. Not a substitute. Not a substitute. That's not a substitute. That's not a substitute.
The original.
I will never.
Not a substitute.
No. The original bet, JA17, both sides.
Both sides.
No, JA on one cheek, 17 on the other cheek.
Was here on the bottom.
It is going to be.
Do we need to go for a booth review here of the original bet? Like, Do we need a replay?
Call into New York.
It is going to be upper right cheek. It is going to be upper right cheek. And first of all, it's not a tramp stamp. It is a champ stamp.
Champ stamp.
There you go.
That's the first time I've heard that with this guy.
Oh yeah, champ stamp. It's champ stamp.
It is not going to be. It is going to be upper right butt cheek, high enough to where I can like put the image on Twitter without getting my account disabled.
Important.
And it's going to be like size 10 font. Calibri, because I think that's
Come on.
Calibri.
Bebas New. Bebas New.
Comic Sans.
Or League Spartan.
At least
Bebas New
Impact
League
font.
Spartan.
I support the impact font.
I have a question for L. Do you have any friends, L, that have lower back tattoos that could give Judge some advice? Could you find some advice from your friends with Judge on this particular topic?
I've dated plenty of women with lower back tattoos.
Anybody I know that has a lower back tattoo is not somebody who should be giving anybody advice.
Yeah. Makes about sense.
That's outstanding.
Oh, Can I say this though? I don't know what you're worried about. I mean, listen, unless you and you don't strike me like the kind of guy. I mean, I walk around in a Speedo pretty. I do it whenever I think I can get away with it. You don't strike me as that kind of character. So with that in mind, what do you care if there's a giant J and 17 on your ass? Is it going to hurt anyone's feelings? What are you going to see in the mirror and you're going to get sad about it? No, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to laugh.
I'm more than happy to get a J17 on my ass. All I'm saying is, I will trade that in for a JA leaping over my butt crack.
That sounds like you're trying to get out of something. See, this sounds like you're politicking. This sounds like lawyer speak to try to get out of something. I don't like it.
I'll up the ante, and I will get a Buffalo Bills tattoo on my thigh.
Ooh,
if we win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right, so charging Buffalo, standing Buffalo, Sean McDermott's face.
Alex,
No, get
gap integrity on your thigh if they win the Super Bowl.
Gap integrity.
That is something that should definitely go over and ask you.
Eric, I'll put that in your
right there. But no, Alex, get a buffalo on your thigh and then master the dance to make it jiggle to where it looks like it's charging.
That's what I want.
That's outstanding.
Or I just stand there and when I flex.
Yeah, it just charges a little bit.
Oh yeah, I like that.
This is
I want it anyway.
definitely turned into After Dark at this point. So let's just move on.
For those of you on the East Coast, yes.
Move on past this segment.
Okay. Okay, so can we get back to football a little bit here? Since the last Kansas City game, the Bills have had 4 one-score games out of 12 games. They're 3-1 in those games. The Jets, Patriots, Cardinals was a loss, and then versus Indy. Is this going to be a one-score game? And does Kansas City's one-score game over the past 10 games, each of their past 10 games, whatever it is, does it help them out?
No, because that's not
your head.
I'll say there are experience advantages that the Chiefs legitimately have. This is going to be Patrick Mahomes' 3rd straight AFC Championship game. He's played in a Super Bowl. Andy Reid has played in multiple Super Bowls. This is now his 6th conference championship game. There are legitimate, experience advantages that they have. I don't know that them needing to gut out some weird wins of a comeback against the Atlanta Falcons is a advantage for them when they've played down to their competition to that point. Having to flip the switch at some point and knowing that they can and obviously did for as much as we kind of poke at the Bills have 8 double-digit wins over the second half of the year. They have 0. They did flip the switch because they didn't lose those games. They lost one game that they were trying to win the entire season. They were able to flip the switch. So I don't know that experience is a leg up, but they did display the ability that when it called for, they flip the switch and they win the game, and no one has taken that from them since the Raiders at the beginning of the year.
Spy, you were trying to say something there.
Yeah, I don't think it translates into experience because I don't think one-score games are a sustainable way to win. The statistics don't show that to be true. And more than that, to tack on to what Greg said, yes, the Chiefs have more playing experience in these championship games, but I mean, Dable has coached in 9 championship games, McDermott's coached in 6, and Leslie Frazier in 3. And so, and to Brandon Beane, I mean, I know it doesn't have anything to do with the game, but he was assistant GM in Carolina when they went through their run. So, I don't think I think it's a little bit of an advantage, but not one that really gives me any reason to say that it has an impact on the actual game. I think it's more a storyline or a talking point than it is an actual practical, strategic, tactical, kind of thing. So that's my take on it.
Hey, it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah. This game for me is going to come down to the picture that was posted in the BF chat today, and I don't know who posted it, but it was a by the numbers graphic, and it literally talked about just the last 5 games. So since week 13, Josh Allen has averaged 35 points per game. Mahomes has averaged 25. Completion percentage, Josh Allen 69%, which is his season average, whereas Mahomes is actually down from 65 to 61. Allen 21 touchdowns versus Mahomes' 10. And then that doesn't include interceptions. Josh with 3, Mahomes with 5. For me, this game is about the Bills' offense just being the Bills' offense. If they can put up 35 points on a defense, their average, that is not a great defense. I don't care how much they want to run Spagnuolo and talk about what Spagnola's got for them and the blitz package isn't. Bring the blitz, but bring it all, because he's already beaten so many better defenses and so many better defensive coordinators this year. It's literally going to come down to can the Buffalo Bills defense, which is number 10, when Milano's on the field. You guys already talked about it earlier today, what Milano brings to that field. To me, this is a game that's probably a 1-possession game, probably 7 to 8 points, and it's not going to feel that close in the end. I think the Chiefs probably make a push, and the Bills defense steps up and stops them.
Drew's trying to get in here. Go ahead, Drew.
Well, first of all, there's somebody in here who just asked the question. He's a Chiefs fan that said, do you guys think women deaths are different than men's? Which I thought was strange. Like, that's a weird philosophical thing to throw up in the middle of a football conversation from Karen the Ball Chief. But, I mean, either way, one of the things that we said this week during our show was just composure. The Bills are going to be trailing at some point in this football game. Composure is going to be a massive part of this game for this team. But I think that they've learned that over the course of this season. Sure. I think if this year, in years past, I'd say a team that goes down by 12, 13, 14, 15 points to the Chiefs or to whoever, they start to be, you could see Josh Allen being the erratic version of Josh Allen. You've watched Josh orchestrate drives against the Rams when everything unraveled and he had 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes to win the game. You saw a concerted effort from Josh to just be, hey, I'm in the pocket. I'm in the flow of the game. I understand what's going on. I'm not going to lose my head. And it's kind of gone on that way for the rest of the year. This team seems like they're dialed in, and that's something that we're going to have to see because there are going to be points. This offense is too good to hold down for 4 straight quarters. This isn't going to be like the Ravens where you squatted on them and held them to 3 points and you always kind of had the lead once you got it. You're going to have to take the ebbs and flows of the game, and we as fans need to kind of bring that. We have to have that too. You have to maintain your composure when the Bills are down. Yeah, but no, that actually makes it worse. That from experience, I can tell you that makes it worse. When the Bills are down by 10 points in the third quarter, they have to find a way as coach, quarterback, offensive line, skill players. It's fine. Stay the course because your defense is going to make a play or two. Trust what's gotten you here. I think that if they can do that, they'll make this a 1-score game, and it's going to be interesting down the stretch. If not, everything unravels and the whole thing falls apart because that's what this defense from Kansas City is designed to do. It's designed to prey on you when you start to get erratic and make mistakes. Look at the Tyron Matthew interception on Baker Mayfield last week. He never saw Tyron Matthew. The wide receiver didn't even know Matthew was there. He couldn't even try to contest the ball. It was a duck pass that got picked off and ran back for almost 15, 20 yards.
It was Landry. It was Landry, and he gave up on the play. He didn't even he didn't even go after the guy. Like that's what I hate. You ain't going to see Stephon Diggs doing that. Like Stephon Diggs going to chase that
Landry
guy
should have been going back to the ball or to the sideline.
Yeah. He stood there flat-footed and just said, wait. No, so that's my point. We need to see the composure in this team that when they inevitably get down,
Okay. You brought up Dirty
Also the
Dan.
consistency too.
No, sorry, Eric. Judge brought up Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan Sorensen. First of all, I live in the state of Idaho, where there's a lot of Boise State fans, but I also live in Idaho Falls, where there's a lot of BYU fans. And if you're a Boise State fan, you call almost every BYU player dirty. Okay? Daniel Sorensen went to BYU. That's one of the knocks on the BYU program. Kansas City Chiefs probably should not be calling them dirty. Number 2, I have a membership to an athletic club here in town, and there is a guy who will get this close to your face, and he won't stop talking until you walk away. And he claims to be the grandfather of Daniel Sorensen's wife because his granddaughter went to BYU and met Daniel Sorensen at BYU. And so this guy gets in your face, and he will talk about anything and everything until you walk away, no matter if you're naked in the locker room or what, trying to get ready to go away. He is this close talking to your face. He's got white hair, a white mustache, and if for any other reason the Bills were in this game and the Chiefs were, I would want them to lose because this guy won't stop talking.
There are so few levels of confidence, like naked old man in the gym locker room confidence.
Oh,
like there are so few levels. There are so few levels that can reach naked old man in the gym locker room confidence.
I want to know what.
I'm going to have to
athletic
argue that
club-
because naked old ladies are even more aggressive. They'll have full-on conversation with you. It's out everything. Straight to their knees. It's awful.
I want to know what an athletic club in Idaho looks like. That's something that is.
It's a decent athletic club. I mean, we have the internet out here, Judge. Thank you. I mean,
Are we all from Buffalo?
Is anyone not originally from Western New York?
You're not,
I'm from
Greg?
Central New York State.
Greg, you're not from Buffalo?
Grand Island.
So I'm born and raised in Western New York, but I haven't lived there in 20 years. I asked, is anyone not originally from Western New York?
Yeah, anybody not?
Jeff, where did you start at?
So I am from a very small town in Central New York State. It's called Marathon. It is directly between Binghamton and Syracuse on Route 81, and it is 30 minutes east of Ithaca. So it's 3 hours on the dot. It is 3 hours on the dot from my mom's house to the Ralph. And I could do it in college easily, no problem.
Nice.
Went to college at St. Bonaventure, season seats my junior and senior year. So, get out of here, UB. You know what? Let's just share in our mutual hatred of Syracuse and how only Syracuse and Newhouse could produce the trash that is Nick Wright.
That's some fact right there. Syracuse is like the armpit of New York State.
Nick Wright's from
there's
Syracuse?
no way he could be.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he went to Syracuse.
He went to
That's where all
Syracuse.
the media people.
So did Adam Shine, though, and Sal
And Mike Tirico, and it's one of the best sports
You are
journalism
only
programs
as
in the country.
good as your worst person, Newhouse. You are only as good as your worst person, and right now Nick Wright is your worst person, so you are trash.
Mike Tirico only absolves so many
Imagine the
sins.
baby dick on Nick Wright.
Iron Eagle too went to Syracuse.
Oh,
No,
they have a
their list
fantastic
is
program.
their list is ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong; they have a fantastic program, but right now they are too much associated with Nick Wright.
I applied to two colleges.
Who's the
UB
new
and
guy in the
Syracuse.
bottom of the chair?
Syracuse did not.
Wait.
Wrong direction.
Robbie.
We got
What's up,
Robbie.
Robbie?
Okay, Judge,
Robbie.
Judge, can you introduce him? I have no idea who this.
Robbie from Let's Talk 716 Sports. He's here for you, Joe. He's going to call you out right now. What do you got to say, Robbie?
Ooh.
Say
Say
something,
Robbie.
Well, I watched his show, and I think the Bills are going to win this week too.
Damn right.
Here I was thinking he was going to take a shot at you. He said he had something to say to you, Joe.
Hell yeah.
The Bills
I
are
thought
going to
he
win
was
this
taking
week.
a shot.
The Bills are going to. Robbie is the man, so the Bills are going to win. How's your back, Robbie? How's your back? You doing good?
Are you on your?
All right.
Do you have an injury? You want me to diagnose you?
He's a doctor.
Wait,
He's a
while
doctor.
we're
Are you on your
prepping this,
stomach?
I knew there was a list out there. Just an FYI, like the broadcasters, we brought up Tirico, Nick Wright, everything. Jason Lockenfora, they should get trashed for that one. So then Jeff Passan and Jason Stark are pretty good. You're also talking about Mike Tirico, Marv Albert, and Bob Costas. It's a ridiculous lineup from that school.
Bob Costas is a bitch, though.
He couldn't even get pink eye out of his eye for the Olympics.
He was eating so much ass in Sochi, like that was ridiculous.
Okay, now question for Judge. Is Bob Costas better than John Murphy?
Bob Costas eats ass, but he's still better than John Murphy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So why not give him something to look at? Get the Josh Allen hurdling the butt crack. That way he has something to look at.
I like the
down
tie-in. I like the tie-in.
Bob Costas eat my ass.
I like the
I am
tie-in.
not going to let Bob Costas eat my ass.
You lie.
I hate Bob Costas on the fucking Olympics.
Right, who here would let Bob Costas eat their ass? None of you. None of you.
Wait. Receiving it or giving it?
No,
Wait,
you're
what?
receiving that.
Wait. All right, this took a weird turn.
Okay. Yep. Let's get back to football. Jerry Hughes had to cancel his AFC Championship game party. Fantastic. What are you guys doing for food tomorrow? Because since I got a smoker for Father's Day. It's fantastic. Nice. It's a master-built, gravity-fed smoker. So I'm going with, since we're playing Kansas City, I'm doing the ribs. Got some baked beans, got some potatoes to bake. What are you guys doing for food tomorrow? Let's talk about AFC Championship game food. I've never been here as an adult. What are you guys eating? I gotta go with the barbecue and the ribs.
I dig it.
Not ass. No one's eating ass.
So
I'll eat ass.
So my downstairs neighbor at my apartment complex is a very nice older Hispanic woman who immigrated here about 10, 15 years ago. She taught me how to make not only her homemade salsa, but taught me how to make homemade tortilla chips. So I will have those baking in the oven tomorrow, and there will be 3 trays of them. As long as I have the ingredients, if I don't screw anything up, there will be 3 trays of those homemade tortilla chips. And then the homemade salsa.
That's
Nice.
That's my go-to right there.
Zach Vaughn has not said anything.
My favorite thing about it, I have converted her into a Bills fan.
Ooh. Doing the Lord's work.
Now, real quick, has she taught you?
We need
how
to go in that
squash,
direction.
Including tequila?
Has what?
Speaking of
She
ass,
taught you how
I'm
to make
probably gonna have a
traditional guac
tossed
with
salad
tequila.
tomorrow.
All I heard was tequila, and I do not have any.
You're doing it all wrong.
Okay, let's get to Zach Vaughn. He hasn't said anything. Zach Vaughn, what are you making for food tomorrow?
I'm not making anything. Just sit there, maybe some popcorn during the early game, and then once I get into the Bills game, I'll just be sitting at the edge of my seat, and then the second half, get a beer, and that's really.
So you're a non-eater during the game,
right there.
Maybe not.
Same energy.
It depends. Depends on what.
Are you watching the game alone tomorrow? Are you watching the game alone tomorrow, Greg?
No, I always watch with my dad. So.
No, Greg.
All by
not
myself.
Zach.
Oh,
Greg.
sorry.
All by myself. So this came up on a couple of shows because obviously living separate this year is different. I have done some of the Bills backers bars thing in the past. Now the past couple of years doing the post game show, I've gotten into a rhythm that I need to be able to take notes. I have multiple screens. I have everything going because we go live pretty much immediately after the game. So I can't be driving back from somewhere or half in the bag. So going through all those different things, I can't unravel it in my mind. Am I used to watching the game by myself, or do I like watching the game by myself? But I do, and no one else is around. I'm not loud. Like my wife, I won't make a sound the entire time. Like any of my reactions are like aggressive fist pumps and things like that. I don't scream out or say anything. And I also don't eat. So for someone known for food with the Bills, I do everything the night before. I have a ton of nervous energy the day of the game. My house is as clean as it ever is, like right before kickoff. I'm around just finding stuff to do to burn nervous energy, and I don't really eat all that much because I get so anxious leading up to the game.
I find myself not wanting. Sorry, Jeff. I find myself not wanting to. So I've taken a similar curve, a similar arc, if you will. And when the Bills were good, I didn't care. I used to invite people into it. Come watch the Bills, like they're going to crush people. And the amount of non-Buffalo people I converted to Bills fans was pretty incredible back then. When it got bad, it turned into me wanting to watch the game alone because I didn't want to have to answer questions. Why did they run that play? Why did he throw that interception? Like, what's going on? Are they going to lose this game? And I'm just like, shut up. Like, so now it's just it's just me and basically my daughter McKenna at this point, and she is a huge Buffalo Bills fan.
Awesome.
And I talk about her all the time. Nice. So now but I'm with you, Greg. Totally right there.
I am a insane optimist, even in games where they're blowing. Like I'm still doing the math. Like, okay, we need this to happen. All right, if that goes this way, we can still get this to like. So if I'm around people who are the woe is me, here we go again energy, I'll leave. Like I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else. I'll be like, no, I can't be around you. I can't have that around me right now. I cannot have that near me. So I would be very particular about who would get to watch by me.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm very similar because my wife likes to take a nap, and my daughter is now 5. She's just getting into it, and that's because I will play the shout song and she will dance to it as we score. But other than that, no one else in my household is interested unless my in-laws are coming over to watch the game and eat barbecue or chili. So I've learned to jump very quietly and do the Tiger Woods fist pump like I'm on the golf course. But when people are around, like you said, I don't want to answer questions when the Bills suck. And, did you see the Bills game? No, they started Jeff Toole and they lost. I don't want to talk about the Bills because it's 2013. But now it's much better because we have Josh Allen. I can see Wyoming from my in-laws' house. To paraphrase awesome. Sarah Palin.
That's awesome.
Like I can literally see Wyoming from my in-laws' house.
Can you see Wyoming from your parents' house?
Yes, the top of Grand Teton, which in French means big tit.
Just a little geography lesson for everybody.
Right. So Jeff, just a word to the wise. So I was watching, and it was around the Jeff Toole days, but I don't remember who the quarterback was. My daughter McKenna was probably 3, so 11 years ago. Maybe she was 4, 10 years ago, somewhere around there. You guys can throw out who the quarterback was. The Bills, I believe, were doing well. I was in the man cave. She was behind me playing with whatever she was playing with. And sure enough, the quarterback, whoever it was, threw an interception, to which I went, oh, shit. And all of a sudden, my little 4-year-old daughter behind me going, oh, shit.
Joe, there's nothing better than being a girl dad.
Wait, girl dad is the best dad. Girl dad, best dad. To which I then responded, I leaned over my shoulder and went, oh, ship. And she literally started going, oh, ship. I was like,
quick thinking. That was really good.
Yeah, that was
not 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I'm driving. I have my 5-year-old daughter in the car, and we're just driving, and she looks over the car and goes, fucking asshole. like, are you talking about that car? Because I have my father's.
Wait. You were worried about what car she was talking to. Your first thought was, which car, honey?
Yeah.
Which car?
Exactly. Because I have my father's mouth when I am behind the wheel. And so she's 5. I've already passed it down to her. Not to mention that when she was 3, we were at the movie theater. My wife had taken her out to the arcade, and she is sitting in the in one of those race car arcade games where it's the actual you get the steering wheel and the gas pedals and all of that. And so my wife's on her phone, and she's just sitting our 3-year-old there. There's no quarters in it. She's not actually playing the game, but she's going and she's saying something, and my wife can't understand her. And then my wife tunes in a little bit. My daughter's going fuck. And she goes, Inga, what are you saying? And Inga looks up at my mom or my wife and goes, I drive like you, mommy. Oh,
that's classic.
Girl dad is best dad.
That's fantastic.
Girl dad is the best dad.
What I love is
that
people bring their kids sometimes over to my house to watch football games.
Oh, it's a terrible idea.
Mistake.
And so bangedupbills.com, Dr. Kyle Trimble, we've all seen him on Twitter. He's brought his children over here.
Alex's arch nemesis, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, that kid's got a baby dick.
And
shots fired.
I don't think he ever played football in his life, so honestly, I just don't expect anything he says.
So here's what I love. He brings his kid over to my house.
# micropenis energy.
And I love
Hashtag be-free football.
His son hears me drop a couple C-suckers. I drop a couple F&As. And then before we're all said and done, I wish I made a comment about how if this is the last time Brian Daboll, because that was when he was being talked about as a head coach, he was the hottest candidate on the circuit. When they said that he was going to be, there's no chance he's coming back to Buffalo. I said, well, good. If he's that dead set for LA, I hope he has fun pushing that wheelchair around on the beach when the diabetes take his feet. And and he looks at me and goes, my wife, he goes, he's going to repeat this stuff. And when he does, my wife, you're getting the phone call. You're going to have to deal with Alex when she's mad because he repeats this stuff. And I was like, listen, your wife, hey, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing when she let you take him out of the house. Come on.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Listen,
I told you guys it's authentic, it's real, and there is no off button.
I think the funniest part is when I say these horrible things, they're not yelled, they're not screamed. It's not a manic thing. I just say it casually, like it's part of conversation, and people go, "Do you just roll around with this ill will in your skull?" It's like, yeah, that's just a thing. That's just back here rattling around, looking for an outlet. And Brian Daboll happened to be the guy who walked across.
He jaywalked into your mind, and that was the result.
Yeah, and the diabetes joke. And then everyone goes,
I have lost Judge. I've lost Judge, so now Joe Miller, you're now my wingman, Joe.
I got it. Is that one to come back or no?
Joe, here's a question. Your baritone, the baritone that you have right now.
Well, hang on a second. There's the difference. Are you want to come back, Al? Are you coming back? Yes. See?
I'm right here.
Okay, good. So yes, I am. Well, I'm a baritone, but I'm a vocalist. I'm a singer. But I don't sing this low when I sing. But yes, I am a baritone. I can get yes.
You sing, Joe?
Yes.
Oh no! Joe has a lovely singing voice. Like he is being very humble right now. Joe is an amazing singer.
We should do karaoke.
Yeah. You could say his. I believe that his worship service is simulcast sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
It's breathtaking. The man has a voice.
I may or may not have a record on iTunes from like 20 years ago or 15 years ago. Anyways,
under Joe Miller or under a different name?
It's under the band's name that
I was saying, if you've seen the photos,
band's name.
Wait, if you've seen the photos he posted recently, you will be sure that it was not under Joe Miller.
No, it was not.
Do you guys want to hear my rap?
What was the question about my voice?
I have a rap.
No, my question about your voice was, do your listeners, I was going to ask, do your listeners have any idea that you don't sound anything like that when you actually take the mic anywhere else? Do they know you're fraud? Fraud, fake news, Joe Miller.
I'm literally the kid. So this is an honest to God, truthful story. And the first time it happened to me was when I lived on Kinnison over in Hamburg, because I live in Lakeview now. But if you know where Kinnison and Avery is, right near Rogers Road in Hamburg, off of Route 5. That was the first time it ever happened. I was very cool. I called the girl who was my, wanted to be my girlfriend. I called her for the very first time, and I was very polite because my parents taught me to be polite. And I don't remember her name necessarily, but it was like, "May I speak with Jen, please?" And I literally heard her mom. I was probably 13. I heard her mom go, "There's a man on the phone for you," and it never stopped. So this is my real voice. This is unfortunately. Yeah. So I got a face made for radio. That's for sure. So
I want to know how long it would take you to grow back that glorious mane. The pictures are phenomenal.
The orange mullet.
It'd be a skullet because I don't have much hair on the top of my head anymore. But it probably unfortunately.
Would we call you Nemo at that point?
Elle's frozen. I don't know what's going on with Elle. But
she was alarmed.
she's holding that pose.
It happens.
Yeah, she's gone.
It happens.
Gotcha.
You guys want to hang out together sometime?
Dude, let's do it.
All right,
I'm excited for when that's allowed.
I'll say this. Now I'll say this, Doctor. I've met Greg. I've met Ty. I've hung out with a lot of people here. Here's the question: are you going to wear the spandex? Because if you're not, then you can't come. You're not welcome to my tailgate if you don't bring the spandex.
I'll definitely wear the spandex, and I might rip them off.
It's a little creepy that this is the second time I've seen you on one of these YouTube live shows, and both times you've been wearing the spandex, the Zuba spandex. Like
it's his thing.
Joe,
he had to do the dance, so that's why he's wearing them.
He expected to do it tonight?
Joe, you wear.
He already did.
Camo hat.
He wears that on the pregame show too.
I have like 5 hats on my desk, but I mean, come on, it's impressive. I appreciate the commitment. I'm just saying, I appreciate the commitment.
Imagine running into me in the club though, and then me taking that leg and just sliding with the
T-shirt time. No, it's T-shirt time. You are the epitome of what T-shirt time was.
Nice, very nice. What was it, Callahan's?
Yeah.
You're from over
so
here
we
at
have already
Callahan's, right?
officially gone way over on the over for Billsgasm. That just threw it into the count. So.
Okay, all right. So I have a little bit of trivia.
I heard predictions and
I want to. We're pushing 2 hours here. We're at an hour 59. I have a little bit of trivia here that I want to get into. The Bills in the AFC Championship game last time, we all know the 1993 season, so January 1994. There have been 21 starting quarterbacks since the Bills have last played in an AFC Championship game. We're going to go round table. We're going to go around the horn, and I want your best guesses to see if we can name them all. Joe? Give me one name.
Todd Collins.
Okay, we got Todd Collins off the list. Judge.
Let's do it in chronological order.
I was going to say Brian Brom.
No.
Brian Brom is
one game.
He had two. He had two in 2009 and 2010. Brian Brom.
So this is starts,
including playoffs. Okay.
We have Doug Flutie.
Okay, Doug Flutie has started 31 games, 1998 and 2000. Okay, Zach Vaughn.
I will go Thad Lewis.
Thad Lewis started 5 games in 2013. Okay, L, give me a starting quarterback.
The current one.
I would love to go with the current one, but I have to unfortunately go with the one that I rode way too hard, Nate Peterman.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Who? Wait, who?
Yeah, that's Nate Peterman.
Nate Peterman.
That's a good answer.
4 starts in 2017 and 2018.
You and McDermott both trusted him.
Rico.
Yeah. All right, keep going. If you have to hesitate, you're out. Let's see who can make it the longest.
Okay, Drew, give me a starting quarterback.
Jeff Toole.
Jeff Toole, 1 start, 2013. Okay, Alex, give me a starting quarterback.
Speaking of Alex Van Pelt.
Wait, Drew, what were you going to say?
No,
Drew,
I was
he
gonna
threw
say
the pick. What?
Jeff Toole threw a pick that matched the one Tyron Johnson just ran back. It was a 101-yard interception in the end zone. I was at that game. We were going to beat KC, and Jeff Toole threw a pick in the end zone that got ran back 101 yards for a touchdown.
Toole started the opener, right?
Yeah.
Is Craig Nall or
First
Tyler
undrafted quarterback started opener? Yeah.
Is Craig Nall or Tyler Thigpen on that list?
We're not there yet.
Not on this list.
They didn't start.
Stop throwing out names.
They did not start. Okay, I also I
got one that you'll never get. I got one that all y'all fuckers will never get.
Ooh.
Alex Van Pelt is on this list. Hold on. Alex Van Pelt is on this list. He had 11 starts in 1997 and 2001. So between those 2 years,
he's too cocky for
that. He had 11 starts. No, I got to get Spy in first.
We got to go in order.
Got to go in order.
We got 13 left.
Thompson knows them all.
I'm just waiting for people to drop out.
Okay. Is Spy frozen?
Eric?
Spy, are you frozen?
Spy, can you hear us? Eric.
Yeah.
He's watching porn.
I'm looking at the camera. That means I'm watching you.
You're not listening, though.
Give me a starting quarterback.
I was waiting for my opportunity to talk.
This is it.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Okay, Fitzpatrick. Yes. We're down the list. He had 53 starts between 2009 and 2012. Naming the list won't be the only trivia as well. I have a different question for you after this. So, Joe, give me a starting quarterback.
J.P. Lossman.
J.P. Lossman started 33 games from 2005 to 2008. Judge, give me the one nobody's thinking of.
It's getting his face
as you make out with you. You are Tom Brady and your dog right now.
adorable. Very adorable.
He is adorable.
This is Luna. This is Luna. She is a she. So first of all, so it's not weird that we're making out. Anyway, I was gonna say Travis Brown, but he might have not started. So I'm gonna go with Rob Johnson, my boy.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a funny Rob Johnson story?
Please do. No.
So I actually was team Rob Johnson over
Flutie.
over Doug Flutie because I was young. Anyway, I was Rob Johnson for Halloween one year, and you know how Rob Johnson used to wear those white sleeves? I may or may not have taken a pair of my mom's white pantyhose and cut them and worn them on my arm on Halloween to mimic those Rob Johnson white sleeves. So you're welcome.
Okay, Rob. Your mom
Rob
is
Johnson.
pantyhose, or oh my God! Look what just happened. I had a dryer sheet in my shirt.
That's what you get for talking. That's what you get for talking about the other doctor from Banged Up Bills.
I'm packing.
Karma just hit you. Karma just hit you.
So is it Judge's turn, or did he name someone?
He's still Judge.
Rob Johnson.
Rob Johnson.
Rob Johnson, who had 27 starts from 1998 to 2001. Greg, give me a quarterback.
We missed a lot of easy ones. E.J. Manuel.
Yep.
Okay, E.J. Manuel, 17 starts from 2013 to 2016. Zach Vaughn, give me one.
He's reading ProReference.com. I can see it in his glasses. Stop it. Just kidding.
Hold on. I want to check this out. I want to check this out. Hold on. I want to check this out. What are you looking at, Zach?
I'm literally looking at the stream.
Now he is in his own
Looks like Pornhub.
Speaking of EJ Manuel, I'm going to say the guy who replaced him after J.J. Watt took a pick six to the house. The man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Orton.
12 starts in 2014. All right. Now, I just dropped my pen.
Kyle Orton, who still has not...
Of course you did, Jeff, because you've done such a good job hosting for so long that you had to screw up eventually. Fuck that pen.
Kyle Orton, who still has not returned from management's office. If you remember, the last thing he said to the press was, I'm going to go up and talk to the offices. I'll be right back.
Yeah, got in the car and took off.
Doug Marrone took him out on the Stugotz, the boat from The Sopranos. Doug Marrone took him out on the Stugotz, put two in his head, wrapped him up, and dropped him off. L, give me a quarterback.
Drew Bledsoe, as long as we're going obvious.
There you go.
Okay, Drew Bledsoe. We have not named him yet. 48 starts, 2002 to 2004. I also have a Drew Bledsoe white jersey with the blue shoulders that is a 3X so that I could wear it over my winter coat.
Nice.
Wow. I like it.
Drew, give me a quarterback.
I've got
Thad Lewis. Your dog is so aggressive.
Thad Lewis has already been named.
Already been said.
Yeah.
Kick him out of the chat.
Ooh, we'll wait. Hang on.
You have to do extra shots with Chris tomorrow for that.
4 left.
Cardell.
Okay, so wait, there's only 4 left?
1, 2, 3.
I've got 4 in my head.
5.
Ooh.
I've got 6 left because the starting quarterbacks since the last AFC Championship game.
Oh, okay. All right, I got another one now then.
All right, run through.
Drew?
See, this is how you know Greg is old, because he has them all. You know what? I'll punt and just admit that I don't know one.
You're punting from the 35-yard line. You are punting. You could stay Josh Allen and not punt from the 35.
No, because it's low-hanging fruit, and that's the easy way out. No,
punting from the 35-yard line could get you hired as the new offensive coordinator for the Lions.
What is the low-hanging fruit?
The current quarterback,
Josh Allen.
Todd.
Another current one.
Todd Collins was already named. Todd Collins was already named. Yes, he was named number 1, wasn't it? Okay, here's who we have named from.
Oh no, that's cheating.
Come on, I can't.
From oldest.
I don't know.
How about
from oldest to
the
newest?
other one on the roster right now?
Oh, I got one. Can I say
Stop,
it?
Thompson. Stop.
Nope.
I want to win, dang
Alex, what is your guess? Alex, what is your guess?
You have to guess without knowing the list.
Are you punting?
What?
Are you punting?
Are you not going to run?
Okay, give me. No, not now.
We had Todd Collins, Alex Van Pelt, Drew Bledsoe, Doug Flutie,
All
Rob
named.
Johnson.
All
Who
named.
came out of that? Who came out? Oh, J.P. Lossman.
J.P. Lossman.
We had him.
Trent
He was named.
motherfucking Edwards.
Hey,
There you go.
Yes. Okay. He has not been named yet.
You did not.
Trent Edwards, 32 starts.
It's not your turn, Matt.
Trent Edwards, 32 starts from 2007 to 2010. I was very much pro Trent Edwards over J.P. Lossman.
I was not.
Through the 2008 season.
Captain.
All right. Now, Spy. Give me a quarterback.
Well, I just got beat to it by Izu. I was going to say Tyrod.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take that because that comment came up. That comment came up just before I said that. So Cardell Jones.
I said Tyrod 7 minutes
Cardell
ago.
Jones did not start a game.
He played, didn't
for the Buffalo Bills.
Kick him out.
I go take the walk of shame. I'll be right back.
All right, Cardell Jones. We are now.
Listen.
We are now on to Joe Miller.
So first of all, I don't know.
Wait your turn, Judge.
I don't know why 349 people are watching this right now, but I digress. I digress. This is
a disaster.
Like Buffalo Bills content creators, like some well-known people in here, and like we're tripping over ourselves, Judge. Anyway, I don't know who's been named and who hasn't been named. Has anybody taken Josh Allen?
No. Hold on. All right, now that we're through a complete round, because I started with you, Joe, can I would it be fair to do it now?
Yes, you might as well.
To name. Okay, you have gotten Todd Collins, Doug Flutie, Rob Johnson, Alex Van Pelt, Drew Bledsoe, J.P. Lossman, Trent Edwards, Brian Brom, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Thad Lewis, Jeff Toole, Kyle Orton, E.J. Manuel, Nathan Peterman. Okay, you're missing 1, 2.
Cool. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Judge's answer. Josh Allen.
That's not my
Wait,
answer.
I just put Jack Kemp into our fucking messages, so like that goes away.
Jack Kemp.
Josh, okay. Joe Miller took Josh Allen. Thank you for taking the fruit that is hanging on the tree. Judge, it is your turn, buddy.
The only Buffalo Bills player in history who is also a member of QAnon, Derek Anderson.
Yeah, that was my trump card. I thought that was the one that would get missed.
Derek Anderson has started 2 games for the Bills.
Oh, no. The Monday Night Football Classic.
They got
Derek. Hold on. The last 2 times I've been at the Ralph, 2009 and 2018, Derek Anderson started both games. I moved to Michigan after the 6-3. I moved to Michigan after the 6-3 Browns game. That was the last time I went to the Ralph as a season ticket holder before moving out of New York State. 9 years later, I get to finally come back, and who started the game for the Bills is Derek Anderson. Monday night. But also shout out to Spencer Hawes in the Bills equipment room who hooked me up at that game at the Monday Night Football game with a very nice winter hat. Thank you very much.
Hooked you up with Bob Costas.
Wait. I have to cut everything off right now.
I mean, not everything.
What?
No, literally everything. We literally forget the GOAT. Jim fucking Kelly.
No. It's not your turn.
It's a game, first of all.
Turn.
No, I'm not. No, game. Like,
it's not your turn.
Forget Jim Kelly.
Ryan Denny.
Okay, Greg, it is your turn.
I'm done.
So, when you rattled it off, did you count L saying Tyrod Taylor? Was he officially removed from the list?
He was not talking.
Okay.
He was not
And I said Matt Barkley earlier, so I'll say Matt Barkley is my official answer.
Yeah, you definitely.
Matt Barkley is your
what you just did
one
to Tyrod.
start in 2018. Okay, so
I got the
I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 left.
What?
Zach Vaughn.
Okay.
Part of it is names we've thrown out that I don't think were official guesses. That
Okay.
I almost guarantee you will never get one of them. Tyrod has not been officially guessed.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'm not exactly sure if this counts, but I know he technically got the first snap of the game.
Yes.
Castle?
Hell yes, that counts.
He was not listed on my list.
Oh,
he was
no?
not
Oh, okay.
listed
No,
on my
it's like
list.
Depends on the stat service.
Okay, actual starters.
Yeah.
Now I'll just say Tyrod then.
Okay, Tyrod Taylor started 44 games from 2015 to 2017. Okay, we have 3 left, and we go to L.
Joe Licata.
Chad Kemp.
No, Dan Garrett.
Give me your guess.
Not the future, Greg. Not the future.
And Derek.
Dan Derrick. I don't even know who that is.
Who the fuck is that?
Is it back to me? Is it back to me?
Ago, like in the 60s or some bullshit.
No.
I don't think she understands the rules.
Since, although to be completely honest, the Jeff needs to restate exactly when the clock started because that might add a name.
What is going on?
Since the last AFC Championship game appearance.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Which was January 1994.
Guys,
no, it's Rockpile's
we
report. It's
stop?
Rockpile
No, he's out. He's out.
He punted. He punted.
I punted so hard because listen, this is fun and all, but I'll tell you what, you guys are trying to figure out quarterbacks from years past when we have the biggest game of our lives ahead of us. I'm just
Answer
the burning anxiety time.
Answer the question. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Is it my turn?
So anxious.
Kelly Holcomb.
trying to drink my way through this anxiety.
We got a $20 super chat coming in here. Let's just get this out of the way
Please
while we
stop.
continue.
$20. Please stop.
Shea Tierney dropped. Thank you,
Shea
James.
Tierney should replace Ken Dorsey when he is hired as a Dolphins offensive coordinator. Kenny Stills will be good for deep passes.
So people amidst
That's a
the
lot of
genuine celebration for keeping Brian Daboll probably missed the fact that Ken Dorsey was probably going to get promoted and deserves a shot to call plays, and we might lose him now.
Yeah.
Hey, we still got Shea Tierney.
And honestly,
Brian Daboll,
that chat's spot on. Yeah, him stepping into the full-time quarterback coach for Ken Dorsey is legit. Like that's a good pick.
Sorry, I was only saying that because I don't want him going to Miami. But
Judge, right?
Drew Gear, the floor is yours to give me a comment about the biggest game of our adult lives before you continue guessing quarterbacks.
First of all, I'll guess quarterbacks. My problem with this whole quarterback thing is that you've had multiple guys play multiple games over the course of decades that were atrocities. The last 15 years of football, why do you think we have so many names to pick from? Because this has been a disaster, an unmitigated disaster for our franchise until now. Now this position, it's been solidified. There's one guy who holds the job and no one questions that there's anyone doing it better. In fact, in some cases, some people would tend to agree he could be the best doing it right now.
Jim Kelly has agreed that he's the best doing it.
Mm-hmm. You're right. We're on the eve of the biggest game of our adult lives. I mean, unless you're
we're not playing in it.
Unless you're as old as Joe or Greg, in which case, I mean,
wow.
But my point is,
I'm going to order another appetizer now.
We sit here and we talk about all this stuff and it's fun, but it's a way to allay anxiety because what's going to happen in less, it's a little more than, 24, 26, 30,
we're going to know
hours?
in 24 hours.
18.
Yeah. In 24 hours, we'll know whether or not we're going to a Super Bowl. That's going to keep me up tonight. And I think it's fun to play these kind of games to get our minds off that, but I can't focus on this quarterback guessing competition while I'm still thinking about we're on the doorstep of a Super Bowl. And
all right, Alex, your turn.
Can I get deep?
I think it's the judge's turn, isn't it?
Can I get deep?
No, it's Thydoc's turn.
No, it's
Alex.
It's a thigh thought, guys. To be honest, how old am I? 35. So I was like 5, 6,
I don't
7,
know.
8 during the run.
Hey,
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking
up
out
top,
loud.
Thydoc.
Yeah, no, it's actually down low. But anyway,
Not with you. Not with
No
you.
one
wearing
wants to see
spandex
your
pants.
bottom nose.
I'm not going
okay?
down low.
Can we just?
We don't
let
go
me
down low for guys
get
wearing
this off my
spandex.
chest? I feel like the Truman Show is for all of Buffalo this year. We had a shitty year. We had COVID. We're all stuck at home. And who the fuck is showing up? It's the Buffalo fucking Bills. I can't believe what they've done to this point. We proved all the critics wrong. Now we take out Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. We go to the Super Bowl. I'm actually praying it's Tom motherfucking Brady, and we right all the wrongs for the past 35 years. We get back at China. Why? Because they took our fucking steel. All right? They ruined Buffalo. And
Hey,
And honestly, who the fuck shot President McKinley and ruined Buffalo in 1900? I know the history.
So I very literally was gonna say I was a little nervous at first, but you went on a good rant there, and then you lost me at the end.
Alex, give me the quarterback.
Of?
We have three.
No, I went. Wait, Jeff, you were out of turn. It was me. I said Holcomb. It's now Judge's turn.
Yes, thank you.
It's me, Judge, and Greg are the only ones left. Me, Judge, and Greg are the only ones left. Oh, that's right, Zach. And Zach. It's the top row. Top row.
Okay, I heard Kelly Holcomb. I'm stopping you guys right there. Kelly Holcomb started 8 games in the year 2005, my freshman year at Bonaventure. Okay, we've got 2 left, and if you can't get these 2 names, you're losers.
I got one of them.
Judge.
I walked away for a while, so I don't know what we're up to.
You used your phone?
No.
Dan Heller.
No, he's not on my list.
Dan Heller.
Yeah, he started in over.
One of them is a Hall of Famer.
When
Jim
Doug
Kelly
Flutie had food poisoning, this man stepped in and led the Bills to their only Super Bowl victory. Right here, Dan Heller. That didn't happen.
Victory?
Have you ever seen the Canadian TV movie Second String?
Yes. So
Featuring Gil Bellows?
Thompson said Jim Kelly.
No. Okay, Thompson said Jim Kelly.
And Vaughn with the final one?
We have one more. He was just in Buffalo 2 weeks ago.
That doesn't help.
No, I said Flutie at the
He
beginning.
brought the Indianapolis Colts into a
Frank
playoff game. Frank Reich, thank you. That is your 21 starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Frank. Oh, my God.
When
I
did
was
he
going to say
say
Frank Reich, but I didn't think he actually
Started 2 games in the year 1994 after the.
Before Kelly
so
retired.
here's the top 5. I was going to ask you to guess the top 5. Here's the top 5 in number of starts, including the playoffs for the Buffalo Bills since the last time that they made the AFC Championship game. Number 1, Ryan Fitzpatrick with 53. Number 2, Drew Bledsoe, 48. Who's number 3? Josh Allen with 46. Number 4, Jim Kelly with 45. Number 5, Tyrod Taylor with 44. We have had so many quarterbacks to get to Drew's point, and that's kind of where I was going with this game. We just need to enjoy tonight. Enjoy tonight because tomorrow we know if we're going to the Super Bowl. We will know. That's why I wanted to play this game, is to recall all of the past shit that some of you on this stream haven't lived through because you weren't even a thought. We could be going to the Super Bowl tomorrow. Judge, I'm going to remove you from the stream. Put it down.
No, can I tell you the tagline of this movie, by the way? Can I tell you the tagline of this movie?
No.
Carrie Polo of Meet the Fockers fame, Ben Stiller's wife in that movie. The tagline, because she was Gil Bellows' wife in Second String. First of all, if you haven't seen this TNT original classic, the entire Buffalo Bills football team gets food poisoning, and Gil Bellows takes over and leads them to the Super Bowl against the Minnesota Vikings. But the tagline of this movie was, "She believes in him. Now he must believe in himself."
That's how I feel about Josh Allen.
That's so cliched.
Did Nicholas Sparks write that?
It's
That tagline?
fucking beautiful.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Dude, that's a great question, Max. I have no idea. Honestly, I think they burned all the copies. The only place you can find it, is that one Blockbuster in El Paso. Texas.
The only place you could find it is on Judge's phone.
Is in the El Paso Blockbuster.
I don't want to know what else could be found on Judge's phone. Let's just say that.
Can I bring something up real quick?
No,
You know
nothing's
what's
going to
really
stop you.
disturbing? His phone's
Go for
probably
it.
cleaner than mine.
I actually found this cup at my father's house this weekend, and it is boggling my mind why this piece is underneath. Does anyone know?
Is that like to be a top
That's to store
or
your
what?
weed.
Oh, it's for the top, but it already comes with
I
the
don't
top.
know. Oh, it
I
does.
don't
Oh,
either.
I don't
But
know.
it doesn't really fit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, what is this for? Why do they do this? Does anyone know?
It could just be a coaster, a built-in coaster.
But not for this mug, because it would suck in if I put it on.
So wait, real quick,
turn it upside down. Turn that bottom upside down.
Which was the better take, when Thigh Doctor asked what the bottom of the cup is for, or when you said, "Give me a quarterback," and he said, "Of"? Which one was better?
I'm lost. No one knows. No one knows.
All right, we're well over. We're pushing 2.5 hours, guys.
I gotta
gals.
go.
On that note, I need to.
He's taking the L. On
We're
that
going.
one.
We're going
He's taking
till.
the L.
We're going till tomorrow, 6:30. This is all I got to do. I
You
got
wanna
nothing
go
else to
marathon?
do. But this until tomorrow, 6:30.
Right.
If you guys want to go marathon,
I'm
I
not
can
filling
keep
my
going
cup
just a little
again.
bit.
I'm not filling my cup again.
You might from the other end. You
My
might from the
favorite,
other end.
comment, my favorite thing in the comments is that it's not for drugs.
Yes, it is.
That's funny. That's funny.
Guys, don't tell Adam Nannini that tomorrow when they call me for the thigh dance, I'm going to be bottomless.
Oh dear God.
Well then.
Yeah, cool.
Adam, no, I won't. I'm just not.
Anyways,
sorry.
might
Okay.
just cut me right out.
Tomorrow, the AFC Championship game for me is for all of the blank. Oh, thank you, Judge. It's for all of the blank. What is it for all of the Trent Edwards checkdowns? Is it for all of the Tony Kornheisers going on and saying, "Oh, well, he went to Binghamton University," and nobody in Binghamton cares about the Buffalo Bills? I'm from fucking Binghamton, and I love the Buffalo Bills. Is it for all of the J.P. Lossmans buying a house right before he gets cut? Yes. Tomorrow is for all of this shit we've gone through for almost 20 years as fans,
Monopoly.
waiting for this moment.
You're from Monopoly,
Waiting
not
for this
Binghamton.
Monopoly.
You're from Monopoly.
Marathon. Marathon.
Very small town. Very small town.
Monopoly, Ohio. Or Monopoly, New York. He's from Monopoly, New York.
I don't have anything I can use as a spectacle.
monocle.
If someone bought me a monocle, I would for sure wear it on my show.
Of course,
Yeah,
because
you
that
Monopoly
would be
man
awesome.
never-
Because Greg is the fanciest man to ever podcast for the Buffalo Bills.
He's a fancy man. Fancy man.
Look at his hair.
Opulence, I has it.
He has the most expensive hair product in.
That's my favorite commercial ever.
I mean, Thigh Doctor and Judge are trying, but right now Greg is crushing it.
Forget about this team. What are you guys exercising tomorrow if the Bills win this game and go to the Super Bowl? What is it that you want to forget out and get out of your mind? Do you want to hold on to 20
I
years?
gained.
No.
The work's
20 pounds I gained in this pandemic.
the work's not done. The work's not
I want
done.
to lose my childhood.
Yeah, tomorrow doesn't do that. I think Joe's spot on. So
Work's
let's
not
try
done.
to get sincere for a moment. Tomorrow will be awesome. I think that Zach's analogy of the Russia game when you still have Finland left is perfect. Like, this is a huge one, but technically it's not over yet. And what I'm exercising are all of the heartbreak and tears and fears of my grandfather and of the family members who have died and won't get to see this, and to be able to enjoy it on their behalf. That's what I'm going to exercise, will be all of the people that helped me grow to love this team and to fall in love with football, and specifically the Buffalo Bills, who now won't be here to be able to enjoy this monumental moment, and I will try to enjoy it on their behalf.
Yeah, that's good. No, the
Right.
work for me. The work
Right, they are here though. They're right here.
for me, the work's not done because, and I said it on my podcast, it actually is now available for tomorrow, the pregame show. I'm tired of the comparisons. Is Josh Allen as good as Jim Kelly? Is this team as good as the 90s Bills? And it hasn't been just Josh Allen. It's been every single one of the quarterbacks that we named. Can this guy be the next Jim Kelly? For me, they got to win the Super Bowl. When they win the Super Bowl, all of it's gone. The monkeys are off the back. The curses are erased. Everything is over. And then to Greg's point, my grandfather got our season tickets in '66. Let him go for a couple years and then got him back in '77. And my dad and I now share them, but yeah, for my grandpa, I mean, it's the same thing. Like I remember sitting on the couch with my grandfather watching Joe Cribbs play football, and him talking to me about just the Bills and what football was, and he was a football coach and just teaching me everything that I know at this point about football. So there's a lot to that, but we're the old guys in the group, so we didn't get picked on.
Spy, what is tomorrow going to be meaning for you? Spy, come on, hit me with some wisdom.
I think of it as righteous vindication.
That's good.
I think of it as the freedom of people's spirit, literally. I think there's something to be said for the accumulation of tension. And, you know, I talked about this a little bit in the end of my Spy column, but for so many years, you know, there are very few fan bases of any sport out there that are as wrapped up in this team as we are. And I mean that in a way that it translates into our everyday life. It becomes part of who we are, the fabric of who we are as people. The things that we represent, the things that we espouse, the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. We might associate those things with, well, what would the Bills do? You know, what should my process be? Do I want to think in the same way that maybe Josh Allen thinks? Do I want to have that same type of mentality? Does that inspire me? What does that do for me? And so I think about it in the sense that, you know, this game is more than just a game to a lot of people. And that's what, you know, the national pundits, the national media, the average Joe across the nation will for the most part, never understand.
Hey, easy. Sorry.
I said national.
You're never average, Joe.
You said average Joe. Sorry.
I
was making a
no,
joke.
he's Boho Mojo.
Yeah. But I think of it as the vindication for a lot of people of all the time that's been invested in this, all the thought, all the passion, all the trauma, and the heartbreak of the fans of all who are no longer with us, and the ones who are still here who had to experience that. You know, you kind of have this like PTSD almost from what happened and what could have been, but now we have to look forward to what can be. And so the prospect of that, I think about it often. You know, I hear a lot of stories from my grandmother about the days of the old Bills. And now I think about what's it going to be like in 15, 20 years when I'm talking to my daughters when they're older. You know, what are we going to look back on and reminisce about this time that we all went through, especially in a year like this? I mean, for me, the Bills have kind of held me together this year. I joined the Buffalo Fanatics at the lowest point in my life after a divorce in June, after struggling with PTSD and depression, after losing my job and being homeless for a little while and almost losing my brand new 2020 truck that I bought. And now I'm part of this community. And for so many people who have been through the absolute ringer, this game is peace. This game is a moment that you can have tranquility and chaos all at the same time. And I think it's going to be a exquisitely beautiful thing for everybody to watch.
Exquisitely beautiful. L is in our private chat saying, "Give me the floor so I can be a fucking shithead." So, what does this game mean tomorrow? And you better drop some trash talking on some Chiefs lovers.
So, initially, I want to tell you that tomorrow is Sunday Buns Day. So tomorrow I'm going to heavy deadlift and max out on my squat, and that's going to be where I live. But also literally every fucking Sunday, I'm coming into this shit knowing that we're going to win. I don't give a fuck right now. I am ready to go. I am ready to slaughter. I am ready to come in and just completely fucking destroy. There is no possibility that my Bills are going to lose. So you can sit here, the haters can hate, everybody can be against us. We are that ultimate underdog, but I'm still sitting here confident as fuck that we're going to come out with that win. I'm still looking at a 31-27 sort of deal. I would love to tell you Bills by a billion, but Bills by 4 at the very least. Let's fucking go.
LFG.
Mm-hmm.
LFG. Drew, you're leaning in like you've got some wisdom, some Drew Gear wisdom to drop on us.
Yeah, it's Listen, I do. People have been messaging us over the last few weeks about how I've gotten sappy, how I've gotten soft. Where's the fire and brimstone, Drew? Where's this? Well, I'll tell you, part of it's that, like I said, my father this team killed him. He had to take a step back for his own health, mental well-being, safety, liver, call it what you want. So when the team started to ramp up about a year ago, he came to his first game last year in 25 plus years with me. He attended his first game in almost 25 years, and it did something for me because I was the kid. It was like the movie Angels in the Outfield, because football was what me and my father had together. It was our thing. It was what we did together on Sundays. And when he stopped paying attention to the Bills, I lost that. And we kind of, we lost touch over the years, and we grew apart. And then as I became an adult and I started to gravitate more towards, hey, I want that family life back, it was hard to recreate that between us because this was the one thing we had, was the Bills. And so my manic behavior, my manic mentality towards this team, it stems from this place of, my dad will come back when this team is good. I just have to will them to being good. So I'm going to go sit there in the stands and I'm going to freeze my ass off and I'm going to try to cheer them to victory every week. Why? Because I think I can do it. Because it means that much to me. Well, the last couple of years, it's really come around. He attended his first couple games with me last year. It was a big thing for me. So the other night before the Ravens game, he texted me at about 7 o'clock and he goes, that feeling you have right now in the pit of your stomach is a lifetime of being a Bills fan. Apropos of nothing, out of nowhere I get this. He goes, you need to cherish this because it might be another week or another year before you get this feeling again. Enjoy what you've been through because this is what it means to be good, is this pressure, this anxiety. You need to learn how to embrace that. Go Bills. And so we go on to win that game. And so then tonight, out of nowhere, he sends me, he goes, 25-hour notice because 24 hours is just not enough for this game. 2 games down, 2 more to go. It's here, the AFC Championship game. Remember the feeling in the pit of our stomachs before last week's game? Well, mine's gone. That feeling of stress and anxiety is gone. It's been replaced with quiet confidence, knowing the Bills haven't played their best game yet. I'm glad Mahomes is playing because, as you know, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. It's a long road to the Super Bowl. 2 weeks ago against Indy, we knocked on the door. Last week against Baltimore, we pounded on the door. And this week against Kansas City, we're going to kick the son of a bitch in. Hashtag Bum Phillips. My 50, I think he just turned 60. My 60-year-old father just hashtagged Bum Phillips. He says, enjoy the moment.
Nice.
Respect the past. Where would you rather be than right here, right now?
Right here, right. Can we get an Angels in the outfield? Everybody give an Angels in the outfield for Drew here. You can't really see it.
Never saw it.
That's
because you were already an adult with a beard in like 1993 when it came out.
To me, this game would be a vindication of all the suffering, like the divide in my family. Between me and my father, the decay of the Buffalo Bills caused. This might be the thing that sews it up. Me and my father might get to watch the Super Bowl together and actually both be able to appreciate it for the first. Because I was 5 during the Super Bowl years. 5, 6, 7. Now he and I could watch a Super Bowl together and be able to appreciate it on the same level. And that, to me, is worth everything. It's literally everything.
You're going to make Elle cry, buddy. Not to mention every single one in this room because we've been. Elle is experiencing emotion for the first time in months. Alex, what is your take on this game? Can you top? Don't even try to top Drew. Just give me a quick. What does this mean for Bills Mafia tomorrow?
This game carries everything I've put out on all my friends, my family, and strangers over the past 30 years. If you ask anyone, all I talk about is the Bills. All I wear is Bills shit. Sometimes I think, am I a nerd? But no. I come home, I see my mother. She lives in Lackawanna. And she's like, no, you're cool. You're just a Bills fan. So I know it's fine. So I moved out of Buffalo in high school. I had to move to Binghamton with my mother. And when that started, I always wanted to move back to Buffalo. But things didn't work out. I went to college, and now I kind of set up shop near New York City. But where was I going with this? I feel like we're in the motherfucking Truman Show, and the Buffalo Bills fans are the main character. They screwed us. They fucked us. They gave us 10 motherfucking Brady. And now, after all that shit, during COVID, during the worst year ever, the Bills are good again, and we can't even be together. I feel like they did that because people would have died this year. That's
well,
how
if you believe in God, and I do, I somewhat think that God sent us COVID because he knew Bills Mafia would not be able to handle all of this together.
I've heard that theory. It was for our own safety.
It was for our own safety. The Bills Mafia could
Only
not
possibly win when we can't be there.
Yeah.
Yep, that we could not be in the parking lots because we would all just end up drinking ourselves under the table.
The city would be
and
on fire.
under 6 feet under. Who have I not got? I've jumped around on this. Who have I not gotten here? Who would like to say something?
Judge.
Judge
All right.
always has something to say. So Judge,
All right.
take it.
So I've told the story before, and I'll say it again. About 5 years ago, listen, I've grown up loving two things: the Buffalo Bill. Well, three things because my family counts, obviously, but two things outside of my family. The Buffalo Bills and being an educator. For those of you who don't know, I'm a teacher. So, the thing about New York State that's really weird is they actually pay their teachers well and give them really good benefits. So it's really hard to find a job in New York State. So I moved out here to Phoenix, Arizona 5 years ago. I didn't know a single person when I moved out here. Not a single person. And I'm not going to lie to you, in the 5 years since I moved out here, homesickness is a real thing. Missing your family, missing your loved ones, missing your hometown. Like when you've lived somewhere for 25 years, it's really tough to just move somewhere. And the only people you know are your coworkers. And if it wasn't for Bills Mafia, if it wasn't for Twitter, if it wasn't for these fine people in the comment sections for Buffalo Fanatics, I would have moved back home a long time ago with my tail tucked between my legs, probably settling for a job that I'd be miserable working at every single day. But because of you guys, I get to still enjoy doing the things that I love, while also enjoying my Buffalo Bills. So if it wasn't for Bills Mafia, believe it or not, I would not be able to call Phoenix, Arizona home, because being able to connect with people in Bills Mafia from around the globe has kept me from losing my mind and moving back home. So,
amen. I will double down on that 100%.
Yep.
This has been
I'm out here
my connection to the world.
Yep.
I'm out of
and really, in this year, the Buffalo Bills are really the only thing that you could say is, I don't want 2020 to end.
Sure.
It's the only thing for us that you could say.
The lone bright spot.
2020 to
I'm
end.
good.
But
I'm good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've just got it's going to take 30 seconds. Cool little story. You guys know what a challenge coin is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firefighters. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know where she got it. My grandmother gave me a challenge coin, Buffalo Bills challenge coin, when I was 17, right before I left for the Marine Corps. I buried a challenge coin, a Buffalo Bills challenge coin, in a random desert in Africa. And I sometimes wonder if someday somebody's going to find that. And so it's just one of those cool little quirky things that you think about in moments like this. And I had actually forgotten about that for a good long while. Not, I knew it happened, but I hadn't thought about it. And then this season is when that came back to the forefront of my mind. And it's just a cool little thing. I wonder if you guys have ever done anything like that with a Bills piece of memorabilia or something like that. Maybe a hat that you threw up into a tree or something like that. You guys ever done anything like that with a piece of Bills merch?
No, but I cannot find what I did with my Sam Cowart jersey that I've seen Drew wearing. The Sam Cowart 56 white Nike jersey, I got it at TJ Maxx when I was like in 9th grade or whatever it was. And I went home to New York a few years ago, and I was expecting to find it in the closet. It is not there. But if I could find that, that would mean a lot. Just because it's a cool 56 jersey, and I could just have the name changed to Daryl Talley.
I have the wildest freaking story from totally an entirely other person. So I'm an assistant manager sort of person at a gym, and one of my members had a stroke a couple years back, but this guy is like an insane football fan in general and definitely a diehard Bills fan. He was at that Broncos game in 91-92 where they dedicated the 13th man. And so he has one of those coins. And the one day he came into work and he goes, I had no idea that you were such a big Bills fan. And I'm like, oh, diehard from day one, baby. And he reaches into his pocket and he goes, every week of every season for the last almost 30 years, I've carried around this coin in my pocket. And I feel like it's time to pass it on to you. And he was one of those members at that game that got that coin and he gave it to me. And I'm not going to lie, I bawled my eyes out. I was like, you can't give this to me. This is like a literal piece of fucking history. And he goes, yeah, but I think it's time to pass on the torch. So
wow.
I think you guys saw me in my TikTok. I was flipping that coin and it was like the coolest friggin' thing. So now I have this coin I have to carry around for the next 30 years, and 30 years from now I have to pass it on to somebody else. So that's my piece of memorabilia. It's not buried somewhere, but every week since he gave it to me, it's been in my pocket.
That is awesome. And Drew, you were trying to say something. You wanted us to come back to you.
What I was going to say was, so the most obscure things that I've ever had, it consisted of some autographed 1990s VHS, like the season recap videos, right? Like,
yes, 1998. I think I had.
Well, I had 1990 through 1994, all autographed by members of the active team at the time, and then I got some mini helmets with some autographs on them, and I got some one of them of Jim Kelly's, one of them Josh Allen, from some of the listeners of our show, people who brought me things there was a listener of ours. He lived not far from Firebaugh, but he lived out in California. Do you remember when Camp Fire happened a couple years ago out in California?
Yeah.
And it just decimated. Well, this guy just happened to comment on one of our things on Facebook, and he was like, this was 2018, and he commented, and he goes, it was when Josh Allen turned a corner after the Jacksonville game. He gets that win under his belt, and he starts to peak, and he commented at the end of the season, and he goes, I lost everything, and so did my father, but ever since we did, the Bills have been undefeated. So maybe that's like the football gods accepting a sacrifice of our man caves and all of our Bills stuff and everything we have. So I took literally almost everything I had Bills related, tchotchkes, anything that was autographed, and I put it in a box and I mailed it out to this guy. And we got listeners involved, and we had almost 15 people involved in shipping what amounted to a crate of stuff out to this guy in California. So some of the most obscure stuff I've ever held, Bill stuff, it now is somewhere out in California with one of our listeners, and him and his father are rebuilding their lives around that. And to me, I think I mean, you can like, to your thing, you buried that in a desert, and you're hoping like maybe someday someone finds that. I got to watch it change somebody's life. And that, I can tell you what, when someone finds that, it's going to be incredible. Because I just watched someone get all of this stuff and watch him and his father it was just something. Some people from transplants from Buffalo who moved out to California who have nothing left of what they had. And now they have something to kind of rebuild around that.
It's amazing.
It's everything.
It's amazing. Drew, thank you for that story. Everybody, thank you for your time tonight. I know Greg Tomset's saying in our private chat, you got to log off, buddy. If you want to go before we end the show, if anyone else wants to just do the
I didn't
Irish
budget
goodbye.
I didn't budget for 3 hours.
No, I didn't either. If anybody wants to Irish goodbye, go for it. You're fine. If anyone else has anything to say, we got maybe 2 minutes before we really
big super chat coming.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh boy.
Here's a big super chat. And Randy Prokes comes in. A fan since the 60s, got me through isolation time in med school. Remember where I was for every 5-pound loss or Super Bowl loss. That's an SB, not an FB. For every Super Bowl loss, went to Super Bowl 27 and watched us beat KC. So went to Super Bowl 28 with my parents. Now it's 20th anniversary of Dad's passing. 94-year-old mom still here to see. Win fixes all.
Right the wrongs.
Yeah, winning cures
It's
everything.
amazing,
And I can't believe I read that as a 5B.
Before
Dude,
Greg
thank you
goes,
for the super chat. That is awesome.
that is amazing. Before Greg goes, and for those of you that are out of town, and I lived out of town for a long time. I was in Columbus for 13 years. Bills fans are just different than every other fan that I've run across. As far as and I liken it to as much as like an NFL team or a baseball team carries the flag or the banner of your city. It's different for us in Buffalo because we're always fighting the narrative. We're always fighting as the underdog. Like for us, there's always the pot shot at the end. Like the Bills lost and it's cold there, right? So there's just something about what's going on. And for us, there's a connection to our team that's just different than anybody I've ever seen before. Like Bengals fans are the worst. It's like, I'm a huge Bengal fan. You gonna watch the game today? Nah. It's like, well, then you're not a Bengal fan. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like for Bills fans, and when I was displaced, and I know that there's people on here that are displaced now, there's just a different connection between like that. Those guys literally represent my heart. And like when they win, I win. And when they lose, I lose. And I take it personally. Like, and that's, I mean, it's just, I don't know if anybody can speak to that. It's just a different connection than anything I've ever seen to any other fan in their team.
There are family members that it's the only thing we talk about. Like, I don't mean that, like, we don't get along or we don't have a good relationship or that, you know, it's the only thing that holds us together. There would be no other reason to talk. But I get text messages from people and all the different social media apps that you can send messages. And my grandma will text me 8 to 10 times during every single game, reacting to different plays.
That's awesome.
It is what brings our families together. It is a part, like people think that's an exaggeration or that, you know, maybe if you had better things to do. And it's what people pour their hearts and their souls into. It's what brings family together. And that communal, collective experience, whether you want it to be about anything you're passionate about, whatever you pour your hearts into, you want it to be something you can experience with other people. And that communal experience for all of us is Buffalo Bills football, because that's what brings our families together and people together. And it's an amazing way to be able to experience things like this. And I appreciate it, guys. This was awesome. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Go Bills. This is going to be a fantastic end of the season.
Yeah.
Later, brother.
Thanks, Greg.
And
Go Bills.
And I will say this too, like I used to work at Tops, so people in Buffalo know exactly
Me too.
what Tops is. And yeah.
Me too.
Wait, you all worked at Tops? Because you do know that Wegmans is way better.
Yeah.
McKinley Road store.
I worked at the Grand Island, but the number of excuses I would come up with to not have to work on a Sunday was absolutely insane, because I never understood, like, if you're a Bills fan, right? Like, how could you miss a second of a Bills game? Like, right. I never understood fans who could be like, yeah, I went camping this weekend, I didn't see the game. Yeah, I was on vacation, I didn't see the game. Like, yeah, my wife was giving birth, I didn't see the game. I never understood that.
I will say
got that.
Nah.
I will say the once in a lifetime kind of trips out there. Like my daughter was born in August 2015, and all my family came out, and we drove up 2 hours to go to Yellowstone National Park the day the Bills played the Patriots in 2015, and it was such
a relief to not have to watch the game live because it was 2015 and it was Rex Ryan, and you almost knew that Bill Belichick was just going to absolutely dump on him. And every once in a while, when you get one of those big things like Yellowstone National Park, yeah, go ahead and take it. But I understand what you're saying because I missed the entire 2004 season practically by working at Wendy's my senior year of high school, and it's like I don't. People reference that season and Drew Bledsoe. I don't remember what the fuck happened.
Oh no, I can tell you. Because I can tell you what happened.
Billy Parker's what happened.
I was working at Mighty Taco. I was home from college. It was my
Mighty
first
Taco
year
sounds
home.
good.
I was working the drive-through. I watched the loss and then had to go to work. And then while I'm at the window, there's Steelers fans driving through the Mighty Taco drive-through going, "Hey, go Steel Town, hey, whatever." I remember I threw a burrito at a guy. I threw a burrito at a guy. Yeah. And this is how it happened. The guy rolled up, and he looked at me and he goes, he was a single guy alone in his car, and he looked at me and he had ordered a Super Mighty, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, so Steelers, they're pretty good, huh? Oh, they're so good. The backups beat you." And I don't know what it was, but I just took that burrito and I spiked it. I spiked it into his car and then slammed the window. And then I handed the headset to my manager and I just went, "Well, it's your call now. Now it's in your court. You fire me or you don't." I just did that. That's the thing. It's on your plate to deal with, not me. I'll go empty some garbages and you figure it out.
We just, because I know a couple of people here for like reference family and stuff. Like we just on our show, mine and Dave Tilton's show, the Air Raid Hour. We just had Luke
such
Ruffin.
a Jets name as well. I'm sorry,
kind of. No, it's weird.
Why did you totally went with a Jetsy name? I'm just throwing that out there. When you got the cease and desist letter from the Bills, you went with a Jets name.
Did you really want the Buffalo guys? Is that really what you wanted?
The Buffalo hipsters? I don't know. I mean, better than anything that's associated
Buffalo
with
Wet Flunker and Fat Kenny G impersonator.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Buffalo Guys show, neither of which are in Buffalo.
How about the Buffalo Wet Bandits?
Hour for Air Raid Allen. But anyway.
Okay.
The Buffalo Wet Bandits.
Can I say this, though? This is one of the things that I love about this team is that when you look at all of the people who cover the Buffalo Bills here, I mean, I've railed for a long time about the fact that when we first started, right? Our podcast has been around for about 6 years now. We're not the oldest. The oldest was about a decade, but they were in Chicago. They were literally operating out of the Chicago Bills backers. We were the first Bills podcast to exist here in the city of Buffalo. And since then, now it's exploded. There's tons of Bills coverage because the team is finally worth talking about. Yep. We were the only ones dumb enough to just trip and stumble our way through 3 years of podcasting when the team was awful under Rex Ryan. But with that said, you guys, like Joe's from Buffalo, Joe, and then the rest of you guys are from elsewhere. But that passion, it doesn't disappear. Right. Passion doesn't know state lines. Passion doesn't know county jurisdictions. I love that. I've loved learning that about this expansion. I know people talk about how, the market's saturated, numbers, and who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? If you're having fun, you're drinking beers with people that you like, that's what it's about. It's about friends. It's about community. And so in that sense, I love the fact that we get to sit here tonight and talk to all of you guys from all over the country.
That's right.
Who love this team as much as I do. Yep. I love it.
Drew, do you remember our first
team?
Drew, do you remember our first interaction? Drew, do you remember our first interaction? Drew?
No, to be honest, I don't.
When you started your podcast, you threw up a picture of a book, The Rock Pile Report.
Yes.
And I was the one that, and it's my uncle. Yeah, my uncle wrote the book. Yeah, that was our first interaction.
Because that was, to me, I was like, this book encapsulates what it is to really be. Like, this is the history of Bills that people don't know. This is the history of Bills football that people don't know. So I threw the book up there, and you came out, you're like, oh, that's my uncle's thing. I was like, oh, shit, this is awesome. See, this guy.
Yes.
And now you have your own show.
Yeah. So Mike, Bills Mafia or Fanatics doesn't even know that my uncle is a Bills historian and has written a bunch of Buffalo Bills books. Yeah, Jeffrey J. Miller is. Yeah,
Joe,
I think.
Joe, listen to this.
Can we
Joe,
shout
listen,
out
if
Roger
you're
and
Holy
Taiwan?
crap! Somebody's in Taiwan. Good lord.
Taiwan Jones.
I hope he's not inside Taiwan Joe.
We're gonna say Jeff. We're gonna say Jeff.
So one of the last times you and I were talking, you said that your uncle had written that book, and he actually did some pieces on the real Buffalo Bill. My wife is related to the real Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill Cody.
William Cody.
Yes, that's pretty cool.
So
but
she's a Cardinals fan, so
we've railroaded Judge a bunch. He had something to say like 15 minutes ago.
and Zach does not barge in and step on anyone's toes. So Zach, if you want to say something, you got to start doing that and earning that way in because buddy, you just sit there. You just sit there and you listen. If you want to say something, shut us up and say it. Come on, go ahead, Zach.
Well, I've learned you
Sorry,
have to be
I mean,
really aggressive and obnoxious.
Part of me wants to say this, but also part of me doesn't because I'll probably just start bawling my eyes out by
here we
saying
go.
this. But it's just like
Let's
we're talking
Yes.
about like family
Let's
and
have it.
everyone
Let's have
who
it.
we grew up with Bills fans. My dad literally grew up in the 60s with the team. He grew up with the team. So he remembers Jack Kemp, Daryl LaMonica, Joe Ferguson, Josh Cribbs, all of them. And my grandfather was also a big Bills fan. My grandmother, both of them, my dad's parents, they were both big Bills fans. My great aunt, who was my godmother, like a second mother to me, she was also a big Bills fan. And those three were probably some of the biggest Bills fans I ever seen. I loved being able to watch games with them. I mean, it's been rough. Like, not obviously with the drought, but then like in 2014, I started my freshman year at St. John Fisher College. So yeah. And then 6 weeks in, my great aunt passes away. So that was rough. I mean, good thing Kyle Lauren came in and got us a winning record so I could at least celebrate something that year. But then, like, this was just last year around Christmas time, my grandfather passed away. My grandmother had passed away in the summer before. But, like, it's just all this. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it makes you really appreciate the time you have with your family, even with all the good and the bad. All the good now, all the bad in the past 20-some years or whatever. But it's just... Sorry. Okay, well, long story short, I mean, my grandfather is just... The last game, thankfully, we were able to watch that Dallas game together at Thanksgiving.
Amazing.
That's like... And the last game I know he saw was that Steelers game where we clinched that playoff berth. And it's just, I mean, I know that they are watching from up there, up above. It's just, so all I can say now is just Bills by $1 billion. Let's fucking go. Take it all the way. This is a team of destiny. It's a team of destiny. Just check those boxes.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was. Sorry, but that's where I was going with the Luke Russert comment too. So we had Luke Russert on our show on Thursday, and his dad is obviously Tim Russert, one of the iconic Bills fans. And one of the things I asked him was like, what does this mean to you? And it was awesome. And I'm surprised, like Zach right now, I'm surprised I didn't start breaking down on the show on Thursday because, like, legitimately, like 9 times out of 10, when you ask a Bills fan, why are you a Bills fan? Most of the time it's because of your grandfather or your father or your mother or whomever. Yeah. And for me, it was because my dad was a Bills fan. My first memory as a Bills fan was watching Doug Flutie roll out to his right or his left and scramble for that touchdown against the Jaguars. And I remember just sitting in front of my front door at my house for 2 hours waiting for my dad to get home so we could talk about it. Whether it was the Bills breaking the playoff drought or it was a Thanksgiving game. Every single game, like every single big moment in Buffalo history that I remember, we had season tickets together for 10 years. I watched those games with my father. And one of the toughest parts of the Bills' success right now is the fact that I'm 3,000 miles away and I can't get on an airplane and go see him and go celebrate with him. And we have to sit there and talk together over the phone. Like, Dad, if you're watching, I love you, man. Like, it's We're going to win this whole fucking thing this year. I am going to come home this summer because I'm going to have my 2 vaccinations, and we're going to celebrate in style.
Does anybody remember what happened on September 25th, 2011? September 25th, 2011. You guys should know this. The Bills broke the Patriots drought September 25th, 2011.
31-0.
Okay.
The Drayton Florence game.
No. That was the Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fred Jackson game.
Drayton Florence game. Drayton Florence game.
Yep. So I had just moved out here to Idaho Falls to take a job in the TV industry, working as the sports director for an ABC affiliate. And I was a season ticket holder 2007, 2008, 2009. And 2011, I'm out here and I get we started 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. And I was just so anticipating this game against the Patriots. I think we can finally do it. I'm 5,000 miles away from my family. And at 9:00 Eastern time, Sunday morning, I'm scrolling through Twitter. My cousin posted that my grandpa died. I was actually on Facebook. And it was such a bittersweet, emotional roller coaster that day. Because here's my grandpa who, he always joked that he tried to get the Bills to pay him not to watch the game because they always lost whenever he watched the game. But it was just a statistical anomaly because he always watched when they lost. But I knew he was looking down on us that day. And they come back and win. And that's just what it's like. That's just what it is for being a Bills fan. It is life, it is family. And somebody says we're celebrating too early. We're not celebrating anything yet. We're celebrating being Bills fans. And the fact that we've made it this far for the first time in 27 years or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, this is just a rehearsal, Joe. Is that what you're going to say?
This is the rehearsal dinner. This is the rehearsal dinner where we talk about like all the funny things and like get teary-eyed about. Yeah, this is By the way, by the way, girl dad moment. Like, and I don't know if you haven't probably gotten there yet, Jeff, but girl dad moment. Since my daughter McKenna was born-ish, somewhere around there, I can no longer go to weddings and watch the daddy-daughter dance. Like,
I can't do it.
If the daddy-daughter dance happens, like I have to leave. Like I'm out of here. And like
I can't.
Yeah. So
I can't do it either.
So this is the rehearsal dinner. Yep. We haven't gotten the wedding yet. Like this is the dinner.
Yep. All right, fellas. Well, we've lost Drew. We lost L. We're over 3 hours now. I want to thank you for your time, for hanging out. Bills After Dark. It is well after midnight on the east, or no, after 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here, and I'll see you guys back here. I think I'm on 1 o'clock Eastern, Judge, if that's right.
Tomorrow,
BF tailgate tomorrow.
We have a 6.5 hour pregame plan, so it is going to be the writers' room from 12 to 1. It is going to be you and a panel from 1 to 3. It is going to be a live watch party with me and Z-Bot and a couple other people. I think, Eric, you'll be there too during the NFC game. And then the Bills guys and Joe Miller will be taking us into the AFC Championship game. So we got you covered for 6.5 hours tomorrow morning, or tomorrow in totality on the Buffalo Fanatics. So stick with us. You will not be disappointed.
Let's get it. Go Bills before we end this broadcast.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.